And what's going on, everyone? And welcome to the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM. Tonight, you'll be watching Game 2 of the World Series on Fox, while 4 of the best Rally players from this season compete for a $10,000 cash prize and the title of 2020 Rally Champion. We have our contestants here: Tyler Slam Diego, John Peebs 11, Stephanie Royal Forever 25, and Ezzy Hickory Smoke, along with our expert here for the first 3 innings, Mike Petriello. How is everyone doing? Are the nerves starting to build up? Tyler, how you doing?
Doing good, yeah. Really excited for it. Should be a fun time.
Okay, he's ready to go. I know we talked a little bit before we went online here. Everyone's kind of feeling the pressure. There's a lot on the line here. Before we get started and talking to you guys about what you're going to do with the potential $10,000 cash prize, let's go ahead and lock in our pregame picks as we get closer to first pitch here between the Dodgers and the Rays. Our first pick here, so obvious. Which team will win tonight's Game 2 between these two clubs? Stephanie, we'll start with you. Would you lock in?
I've gone with the Dodgers again. I think they're going to take a 2-0 lead.
You know, I can understand momentum is definitely on their side. Ezzy, how are you feeling about this outcome?
It's a tough one, but I actually took the Rays. I think the Rays are a good team. They're going to bounce back. I think it's going to come down to the bullpens early in this game, and the Rays have a good bullpen. They had success against Dodgers pen last night, so all comes down to luck.
I can understand that one. Mike, what are your thoughts on that? I think it's kind of interesting when you look at this matchup at these two experienced managers. It feels like it's going to be a chess match when it comes to managing their pitching staffs.
In some sense, certainly for the Dodgers, because Tony Gonsolin is probably not going to go super deep, and they're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers, and Blake Snell never ever seems to go deep. So I think in terms of which baseball team is going to win tonight, it's a toss-up. So I'd probably go with the one that gets you more points.
All right. I think that's a very sound way of approaching it. Speaking of Tony Gonsolin, obviously going to be a bullpen game for the Dodgers. That's our second pick here. Will he strike out 5 or more batters? John, would you lock in?
I went with no, just because it's going to be a bullpen game. So to get 5 strikeouts, and if he's like a 1K per inning guy, maybe he's only going to go 3 innings. So it's going to be maybe hard to get to up to 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, I like that approach. Pardon?
It's worth more points too.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk about this as the game goes on, what your strategies are. Obviously, you may think the outcome will be one thing, but you really have to take that shot and just go for the points and kind of go against what the odds are telling you. Gonsolin has 8 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings this postseason. But like you said, this is once again a bullpen start. So we'll see what happens there. Let's move on to our next pick. Will Kevin Kierme have a single? Tyler, what'd you go with?
I went with yes. He's from Fort Wayne, which is where I'm from, so kind of hard to pick no. But I went with yes. He doesn't always get a ton of hits or a ton of singles, but hoping for one tonight.
I can appreciate that. You have to pick with your heart sometimes, right? You're going with that gut reaction. Stephanie, did you go with the gut on this one?
I also went with yes. I think he's going to knock out a single.
Okay. The expert, Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to say no. He's a phenomenal defensive outfielder. He's not much of a hitter. I also think that with the bullpen game, he's probably going to get mixed and matched and see some lefties a couple times up. So I'm going to go with a no on this one.
19 of his 30 regular season hits were singles. So we'll see how that one shapes out. Let's get on to our next pick, friends. Will Willy Adams have a single in this one? Ezzy, let's go back to you.
I took yes for this one. I don't think the odds are with me, but I don't know. I feel like Willie may be his only claim to fame tonight. We'll see.
I like that. You went full on Hunger Games on us. May the odds be forever in your favor? You got to have it. You absolutely have to have it. So Tyler, did you go with him registering a single?
I went with no on this one. He tends to strike out a lot and has been struggling in the postseason getting hits, so I had to go no on this one.
Okay, that's a hard no. Let's move on to our next pick, friends. Our final pregame pick here before Game 2 of the World Series. You're watching the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM. Will Manuel Margot have a single? Stephanie, what are your thoughts?
I picked yes for this. I'm hoping he can give me those points that are up on the board there. So I definitely went with the yes.
Yeah, that's definitely a big point pick there, as you can see on the board. John, what are you thinking on this one? I'm always interested in your strategy as you play this game.
Yeah, I went yes as well. I mean, it's worth a little bit more points. There's really, I'm just trying to get the points, and he's been a decent player for the, in the playoffs so far. But usually he's been hitting the home runs, so I need the single here when he does get on base. So, maybe he can get both tonight for me.
Okay. I like that. I like what you're doing here. Okay, guys, game is underway. We have Austin Meadows at the plate. Obviously, he was not in the starting lineup last night, but here he is. So far, we have a 1-2 count facing Tony Gonsolin. Austin Meadows hitless his last 12 ABs. Mike, what are your thoughts on Meadows in his postseason performance?
It's not just postseason for him. He had a really rough regular season too. He was slowed down getting into camp, and he'd been so good the last 2 years, but he just has not seemed to get untracked at all. I was kind of surprised to see him hitting this high in the lineup tonight. Maybe it's a specifically good matchup they like against Gonsolin's type of pitches, but this is a guy who's been really good for the last couple of years and just has not had it at all this season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you kind of like the lefty-righty matchup here. Tyler, as you're watching this AB, are you getting nervous at all? What was your pick?
Not too much nerves yet. Save that for later in the game when it gets a little bit tighter.
It's too early to be nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous for you guys. $10,000 on the line. This is a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's very exciting. But, I went with the in-play out in this one just to try to get things rolling from the start. But we'll see.
I can appreciate that one. He's obviously battling in the box here. We're looking at a 2-2 count at this point in time. Ezzy, what was your pick here? What's your strategy early on in these games? Are you going risky or are you just trying to play it safe?
It definitely depends. I went with the in-play out on this one. I'm with Tyler. He's been struggling. I love this guy. I'm waiting for him to wake up any day now, but he's having a rough go of it. And like Mike said, he had a rough season. And there we go.
Looks like he just popped out. All right.
Yeah.
So who got that one right just by a show of hands? Okay, Tyler's on the board early. Yep, so is Ezzy. Okay, guys, it's still very early. I'm one of those people, though, that's why when I play this game, I'm, way too emotional. I just get too into it. Okay, so we have our next AB, Brandon Lau, and I think this is so interesting. And, Mike, I want you to weigh in on this one. Kevin Cash has stood by his man, keeping him second in the order despite his struggles. What do you think will happen in this at-bat?
Yeah, he had a really good regular season, and it wasn't his first. He'd played partial years in the big leagues for the previous year or two, and he was pretty good. And for whatever it is, it just has not happened for him in the postseason. I'm tempted to just chalk that up to sample size and not anything more, but I think he is going to what are my options here? In, play, out. I'm going to go with that one.
In, play, out for 283 points. I mean, the homer. Anyone gamble on the homer here? That's a hard no. Crickets across the board. I guess I can't blame you guys. I mean, that is quite the gamble. Who thought about it?
I definitely thought about it. I think he might take us deep once tonight. Just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have to pick your spot. It looks like so far. First pitch there was a strike swinging at just over 95 miles an hour, and then 2 balls. So he's obviously being somewhat selective at the plate here. He gets ahead in the count. Mike, what have you seen from him when he's successful, when he's ahead in counts?
Well, when he's ahead in counts, pretty much every batter is a little more successful here. Sorry, I'm distracted by seeing the fact that he's crushing a baseball right now for a home run. So now I wish I had chosen that.
What?
Wow.
Guys, that was all the points.
Wow.
Missed out. That's okay, though. That's okay. I guess Kevin Cash, stuck with his gut, stood by his man, and it paid off. 1-0 Rays on the board here off a Brandon Lau solo shot. Guys, I feel like we left a lot of points on the board here. I know I'm just hosting this thing, but I'm obviously invested, and I feel your pain. But I understand why you made that pick. Lau, 6 for 56 at the plate this postseason with only 1 extra base hit. And here he goes as he's celebrating in the dugout with his teammates and proves us all wrong. Let's move on to our next pick here. Randy Arozarena. Will he get on base with a walk? John, what are your thoughts?
I said yes. Obviously, Gosselin's been a little wild in the playoffs, so he could walk him. And then, Randy's been their best hitter, so maybe he's a little scared. And now he just gave up the home run, so maybe he's timid. Hopefully, he gives him a walk.
Yeah, I wonder how. And obviously, Mike, you know Gonsolin a little bit better than the rest of us from just a mental standpoint. How is he able to have that kind of instant amnesia following a home run, especially early on in an outing?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to if you're gonna, be a pitcher successful enough to pitch in a World Series game. You can't let that sort of thing get on. If I can guess on Randy, he is gonna hit a home run or strike out. I feel like those are two far more likely options than a walk here.
I like that. The exciting outcomes that everyone is enjoying here in the new day and age of baseball. Right now we have a 1-2 count on Arozarena. The cowboy boots, Stephanie, are we into the cowboy boots? Because I feel like there's a bringing him luck. He's into them.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
You're dialed in right now. What are you doing right now?
I was looking at this bat right now. I was actually shocked because I had changed my answer in previously, so I got that home run last time. So I was pretty excited about it.
Okay. Well, I'm very happy for you on that one. And it appears that Arozarena pops out to second. Okay, so Kike makes the catch, and now we have Ji-Man Choi also was not in the lineup last night. Guys, what do we think is going to happen with his AB? Mike, you want to weigh in?
Well, Ji-Man Choi, I think, is maybe more fun to watch than he is actually great at baseball. Like, I like him because he's seems like the greatest guy in the world, and he's entertaining, and he's had like a good season. He does. But, he's not a superstar. Obviously, they like this lineup. I can't imagine he stays in long once they start mixing and matching with the lefty hitters. So he's really in to pop one out. I'm going to say he gets on base.
Okay. He's going to get on base here with 2 outs. Tyler, does that have any impact on your pick?
I actually went with the on base as well. He's been getting on base quite a bit recently between hits and a few walks here and there. But like Mike said, he's a lot of fun to watch. So brings a lot of energy out there.
Yeah, he really is the first Korean-born player to appear in the World Series. I mean, obviously, I love those types of stories. These guys kind of, they tug at your heartstrings, as Arozarena obviously did earlier. So you are picking 312 points for him to get on base. Right now, we have a 1-2 count. First pitch was a ball called at just over 94 miles an hour. Strike, wow, mid-80s. And then he got it back up there for a strike swinging called at 94.6 miles an hour. So it's always interesting once again to see this matchup, how long Dave Roberts will keep Gonsolin in this one. Mike, what's the strategy here? I know we talked about the chess match, but when you have a bullpen game like this.
Well, pretty much everything is mapped out, and that's including the manager. I think people think he's just handed a piece of paper and that he's expected to execute it. He had a role in, coming up with that piece of paper, but he knows what he wants to happen. He knows he wants Gonsolin to get through the lineup 1.5 times, then he wants to go to the next guy. Like, if he's panicking, then there's a problem. This is
that is very true. There's a reason why you have that time to prep and you have the plan and you have all the video available to you. Yeah. Well, okay. So obviously we had Ji-Man Choi striking out swinging. So we have a 1-0 score. Brandon Lau goes yard early in this one off of Tony Gonsolin. And guys, I did not see that one coming. But once again, this is the World Series and this is the Rally Championship. All the money is on the line. And by all the money, I mean $10,000. But I mean, I don't care who you are. That's still a lot of money. Stephanie, what would you do with that $10,000 cash prize if you won?
I would try to find a vacation, travel, get out of here.
Have you been, so you live in Kansas right now. You're obviously a Royals fan.
I am.
Have you just been trapped at home this entire time during the pandemic?
Working from home and staying at home. So not getting out very much.
Oh, bless you. Where would you travel?
Somewhere south, probably get a little bit warmer. It's gotten a little cold around here, so I definitely want to get warm.
I definitely can appreciate that. Well, best of luck to you. Let's take a look at that Brandon Lau solo shot.
Opposing pitching this postseason. Here's a 3-1. And a shot into left center. Back at the wall. It is gone. Lau has put the Rays on top as he busts out with a first inning, game 2 home run. Well, right on cue. It reminds me of George Springer a couple years ago, struggling big time. Got a
Wow, guys, it's kind of fun to watch it back and sound full. Ezzy, I see you nodding your head there. What's going through your head when you see that? And you know, you're actually able to be part of this baseball community just through the Rally app, and you're playing in the championship game for $10,000.
That ball was hit better than I thought the first time I saw it. That ball was way out of here. And Stephanie, did I hear you called that one?
I did. I got it.
Well done.
Yes,
well
Stephanie.
Done. Yeah.
Virtual high five.
Thank you.
That is
Virtual
fantastic.
high
So right, you gotta have the virtual high fives, guys. I'm learning all about this virtual and remote life during lockdown and quarantine. So yeah, the Rays 43 of 61 runs this postseason came off the long ball. Mike, moving forward against Gonsolin, do you think that should have an impact on the picks that our contestants are making here?
Well, I think it depends on which hitters. I mean, part of the problem with the Rays scoring so many of their runs on home runs is that they don't score runs in other ways. So I don't know if I would go with like an RBI single if that's an option, because that probably just doesn't happen that much for them. But they do certainly have guys with pop, right? Choi has pop.
Yeah.
Lau has pop. Or Rosarena certainly. Zunino will strike out 45% of the time, but he will also crush baseballs. So this is not like a powerful team necessarily, but it's a little bit better than I think people give them credit for.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and they made it to the Fall Classic for a reason. If you're really paying attention, obviously the payroll isn't quite there, but they were one of the favorites going into this abbreviated 60-game season. Guys, let's get into our second set of picks here as Mookie Betts steps up to the plate. What are we guessing will happen in this at-bat? So John, what are you thinking?
I said not a single. Obviously, he's capable of it, but I feel if he gets on, it'll either be a double or a walk, and not a single.
Ooh, a double or a walk. I like that. It's very specific here. But, I mean, 813 points on the line, guys. Tyler, did that have any impact on your pick?
I went with no as well. I think he could definitely hit a single pretty easily, but just decided to go with no on this one.
I feel like that was a gut feel, and I don't blame you for that one. We have a 1-2 count here. Blake Snell, obviously all-star, fantastic pitcher, but he's a guy who likes to try and stay out of the zone, Mike, and you can weigh in on this one because you're obviously the expert here. It feels like since the Dodgers have been so selective at the plate that they're going to force him to get inside of that strike zone. Do you think they'll be successful?
Well, I think that was clearly their plan in Game 1 against Glasnow. They were trying to.
I think it worked out okay.
Right, exactly. And Snell, for all his talent, just is super frustrating to watch. He never, ever works deep into games. Like he very rarely gets into even in the 5th or 6th inning, especially with all those bullpen guys lined up behind him. So when you see a pitch in the strike zone like Corey Seager just did, they're going to pull the trigger and try to hit it as hard as they can.
And that's exactly what he did. We had Mookie Betts, the outcome of that AB, struck out swinging onto Corey Seager, who, I mean, that was a hard hit ball. And he lined out to Kevin Kierme in center field. You see the way these guys are starting to get bats on balls early in this one. We see that Corey Seager at bat selection. Ezzy, what was your pick?
For Seager?
Yep.
I had him getting on base. Another guy I'm a big fan of, but was not to be. So
yeah, the MVP there in the championship series is we have Justin Turner at the plate, a righty-lefty matchup here for Turner. Let's see, John, what was your pick for this outcome?
For the Seager or for the next one?
We are
for
on
Turner?
to Justin Turner, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
I did him play out. Obviously, he's got a pretty decent eye, and I think he'll make contact, but maybe softly. So going in play out
Contact here. Yeah, no one on base. 2 outs here facing Blake Snell, who early impressions, Mike, of Snell and his performance.
Well, only 8 pitches so far, so we're not that far into it. But that one got really
size. But we already have 2 outs. I mean, he's efficient at least.
That ball that Seager hit was, I don't have the exit velocity numbers handy, but he hit it hard, and this is a ball. Well, this is Corey Seager, who's basically been crushing everybody so far. So I'm inclined to put that more on Seager than on Snell, but this is the right ballpark to be in if you're going to give up hard hit balls, because we've certainly seen, a lot of them stay in the yard, and that's partially because of the elite defensive outfielders I think we've had, but it's also a big ballpark. Yeah.
And the roof is open tonight, right, in Arlington? And not that that's having much of an impact. So I have a researcher sitting next to me. I wish I could take credit for all of these great stats I'm throwing out to you. Sam Anthony's helping me out. And Mike, we do have the exit velo there on Seager's ball there. It was 96.5.
There you go. Hard hit ball.
Yes, exactly. Oh, this is from Viper Wolf watching with us. Hulk Hogan about to crush 1,000-foot home run here. I like that. I like when people are weighing in. We have the wrestling terms. Oh, man. Turner goes down looking. He's obviously not very happy. A couple of words there for the home plate ump. And guys, we know what we don't argue. We don't argue balls and strikes, right? Okay, so both pitchers pretty efficient here as we go into the second inning. Stephanie, we checked in with you a minute ago. Tyler West, Slam Diego. Let's talk about you and your playing strategy, my friend. You're an Indiana resident. You're probably loving life right now. What is it about this game that drew you to rally and to play and stay so engaged?
The prize opportunities is what was the big thing that drew to me.
Like money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, each day there was a good opportunity to win a good amount, and it's fun to play along. Gives you something to do if you're watching the games, and helps you stay on top of baseball too, and you get a lot of knowledge from it as well.
Yes, it does. New York Baseball Podcast. I think Slam Diego is gonna win. You have a fan out there.
Thank you, New York Baseball Podcast. Appreciate that. It's very kind.
Give him a little shout out there.
I'll do my best. Yeah.
It's like, okay, everyone's like texting their friends to start weighing in here on the Rally Up. Guys, I need you to log on and send some nice words to me. Obviously, you're a fan of the Padres. What are your thoughts on our good friend Fernando Tatis Jr.? I remember watching him last season, and I fell in love with the kid.
Yeah, he's a ton of fun to watch. Very explosive, brings a lot of energy. Just loves playing the game. Being from Fort Wayne, I watched him play in Fort Wayne with the Tin Caps when he was in Single A. So it's cool to watch him start there and then work his way up pretty quickly to the pros.
I love that. Have you seen him progress quite a bit? What's that evolution been like?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been amazing. Even down in Single A, they even just recently made a bobblehead of him making big leaping catch. So he's been doing the big time plays, ever since, or I guess always. So
you've made it when you have a bobblehead of yourself. Real quick leaderboard update. Stephanie, Royal Forever. I know it's early, but you were in the lead with 2,369 points. John in second with 1,119. Tyler in third. Slam Diego, we're talking to you right now, 1,067. And in at fourth, Ezzy Hickory Smoke trailing with 817 points. But guys, it is still early. Are you ready to lock in your picks for the top of the second?
Absolutely.
The enthusiasm is overwhelming, guys. I love it. Okay, well, Manuel Margot hit a double facing Tony Gonsolin. Wow, look at that. It's a lot of points on the line there for a yes. John, what are your thoughts?
We typically go with yes with the old strategy, but with these bonus points, the likely chance is just a no. If these extra bonus points wasn't here, I'd take the 19-1 odds, but you got to get picks right instead of just going it for. I went no.
And then for those playing along at home and just watching along, can you just kind of explain the bonus points in that system and how people can kind of capitalize on that?
Sure. With the new system that kind of started in the playoffs, it's for every how many picks you get correct, you get like bonus points, and then you go to the next level. And every level you hit, the bonus points go higher and higher. And so it's really, this game's more about now getting the picks correctly to get those bonus points. than sometimes taking chances, which has changed from the regular season where those bonus points weren't available.
Sure. So it's definitely changed your strategy. And then we'll get into strategy just playing during the regular season and game selection and all of those things. Fun tidbit after the fact, so it doesn't really have any bearing on what you guys are going to do, but Margot has not doubled this postseason. Mike, as you're watching this at bat, 3-1 count, what are your thoughts? Do you think it would have been worth the gamble?
I think with what'd you say, 19-1 on those points, it's not even worth your effort to go with something else. So yes, absolutely.
I think it is. All right, so it looks like Margot just walked there. Sorry, friends. Did anyone select that he would hit a double? No? Okay. All right, we're moving on to our next pick, Joey Wendell. What will happen in his at-bat? Look at that for a home run. 4,678 points. You could run away with this thing. Stephanie, how are you feeling? You're always so locked in. I can see the concentration. I can see the focus. Does it bother you when I just call you out while you're trying to do your thing?
No. I am watching Wendell's at bat really intensely because I did select home run for this one because those points are tremendous. So I'm hoping for the best here for Wendell.
And you were the one you cashed in on the loud home run. So why not? Maybe lightning will strike twice here. I mean, I definitely am all for just going for it. Just shoot the moon. Oh, a little pickoff attempt there on Margot here. Okay, so far we have one strike called, 93.5 miles an hour. Joey Wendell, Mike, what do you like about him?
Well, he's he's a little older than people think. He's already 30 years old. So he's one of those late blooming guys. Obviously played fantastic defense for the Rays. He's not the guy you would think of as a starting third baseman on a championship level team. But here he is, and I don't consider him a home run hitter, but if I had the chance to get nearly 5,000 points, I would probably press that button.
Yeah, definitely, right? Okay, so Cole Chuff is weighing in on some strategy here. And Cole, we appreciate that. I like the bonus points because people use to just pick home runs every time. And that's exactly it. I think you kind of had to find that equalizer because otherwise you're just going to constantly hedge your bet and go for the home run and the most amount of points. Tyler's nodding. Did that change the way you play the game?
No, yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, I think everyone, or at least everyone that used to get towards the top of the standings would pick home run all the time because you knew if you didn't, then you're going to get left in the dust. So,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that addition as I think Wendell just flew out to center. Belly made the catch, and Margot is now safe at third base. So we have a runner in scoring position for Tampa with one out here in the top of the second inning. We have ourselves a ball game here, Mike.
I think we also have a new pitcher coming in. I think this is it already for Mr. Gonsolin.
1 1/3 for Tony Gonsolin. And I
Charlie
think
Morton must feel good.
Pardon?
Charlie Morton must feel better about that hook. At least he can get a couple more innings.
Absolutely. That's kind of a rough one there for number 46 as he is out after 1 1/3. Mike, I think the plan is to bring in, is it Dustin May?
Dylan Floro, I think is
Dylan Floro. What do we know about Dylan Floro and how can that impact our players' strategies as Willy Adams is due up next?
It's interesting because you would think maybe that they would immediately go to someone with a different look, right? And Dylan Floro is also a right-handed pitcher. He also throws hard and he's got a nice breaking pitch. He's not a superstar to me, but he's a useful middle reliever. And I think what they're hoping that he can do is finish this inning and maybe not have to bring him back out for the next inning because you've got the 3-batter minimum rule.
Yes, great point. As we have the new rules implemented here for the 2020 season, it looks like only 1 strikeout for Gonsolin. So that was interesting, especially since that was one of our pregame questions, which was, will he strike out at least 5 batters? Did anyone say that he will strike out at least 5 batters by a show of hands? See a bunch of heads shaking. Ezzy, but again, you had to take the gamble as we get you guys an update.
Yeah, I originally did, but changed it last minute, so that worked out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry about that. And you are still trailing here with 921 points. But once again, it's a long game, my friends. Jay Withers weighs in. Hickory Smoke is going to bring the smoke and win.
Thank you, Jay.
You have a fan. I love how people are just weighing in and supporting their contestants tonight. Stephanie, we need to get you a fan club. I'm gonna rally for one of those. Okay, guys. I just, we have to have the girl power here. But you're leading the way right now with 2,473 points. Obviously, a lot of that is thanks in part to the Brandon Lau solo shot there in the first inning. So this is a lot of fun as you're watching the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM. We have our 4 contestants competing for the grand prize of $10,000 and, of course, the title of 2020 Rally Champion. We have our expert Mike Petriello weighing in on all things that have to do with our picks as we go into, the remainder of the top of the second. We have a runner on third, 1 out, and we have Dylan Floro, as you threw out there, coming in to face Willy Adams. Guys, what do we think is going to happen in this at-bat? John, let's go to you.
I went strikeout. You got a righty-righty situation, so and he's got decent K numbers. So, and in this situation, he's really trying to get the strikeout probably instead of a ball in play, which can probably get the runner in home. So, going to strikeout.
I think that's extremely sound strategy. As you're sitting there in last place, did you take a gamble on this one?
I didn't. I went with in play out for this one. I actually changed it from on base at the last minute after the pitching change, which maybe was a bad move. But you gotta make the picks and stick with them. So we'll see.
I like that. You're committing to your picks as we have a 1-2 count here. First
it's not
pitch
easy for me.
Called. No, it's not. And I would, how often do you second guess your picks?
More than half the time, and I'd say that more than half the time I change them, I end up shooting myself in the foot. So.
They do say you should go with the initial gut instinct, but everyone else, all of your fellow competitors here in this rally community are laughing and nodding as you said that. So you're not alone, my friend. Stephanie's nodding. Yeah, I do it all the time.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
That's I can only imagine what that's like. Mike, so far, just a couple of pitches in, what do we like about Floro, and do you think you'll be able to get him out of this we'll call it a jam, I guess?
He'd better. I mean, that's what he's here for. I don't think he's going to get a strikeout. I think he's going to try to keep the ball in play. He's throwing strikes, which is nice, but
Wow. What just happened here? Did we have an attempted steal there from Manuel Margot? I missed the play, guys.
Oh, no, I grounded out.
He grounded out. I just called Margot. I was looking at you guys, and then I looked over at our Fox broadcast. And we had a ball in play. Corey Seager, what a great play at home. It wasn't even close, guys.
Yeah. The question is, how's the app going to score that? Sometimes you get credit for fielder choice. Sometimes you don't.
Oh, interesting.
So I still don't know if we're getting that in play out, whoever picked it.
All right, guys. Well, we will defer to the judges in the rally control room for that one, and we will see how the points end up playing out. So now we have 2 outs, and we have Kevin Kierme at the dish, a pickoff attempt at first base there. Guys, what are our picks? John, let's go to you. Wow, was he going to hit a homer?
Well, no home run. Obviously, it's 27-1, but it's about getting the points right now, and I just don't think he's going to get.
Is it just gut feel, or you're just going with the odds?
Gut feel, and just going to the odds, just trying to get picks, since most likely he's not going to get it. So.
Okay, that's fair enough. Mike, Kevin Kierme, we saw what he did last night. He's obviously a leader in this clubhouse and obviously out on the field. What's your gut reaction when I ask you whether or not he'll hit a home run?
Absolutely not. Usually I like going for the big points here.
Fair enough for a bunt.
Yeah, right. It'd be nice to get 2,700 points, but it would be nice not to throw away a near guaranteed 100 points. I'm not seeing it here.
Okay,
Lauren,
and that's fair.
I wish I had Mike's confidence with my picks, man.
Oh, I can have confidence. I'm not going to win any money tonight, so I can be as confident.
Yeah, he's not there isn't $10,000 on the line here as we have a 1-1 count, more pickoff attempts at first base. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Dylan Floro in for Tony Gonsolin, who only lasted 1 1/3 inning there for the LA Dodgers. A bullpen game for LA this evening here in Game 2 of the World Series during the Rally 2020 Championship. $10,000 on the line here for Tyler, John, Stephanie, and Ezzy. Mike Petriello, our expert, weighing in. He said before the show he refused to play the guitar. I'm a little disappointed in that one, but maybe we'll be able to talk him into it.
If it's a 10-run lead, if we get like up 10-0 before I sign off here, I will play you whatever you like.
I mean, last night we saw all the runs scored, so careful what you promise. Let's see. We have another fan weighing in here, Norcott 711 in 8th place. Also, go Slam Diego. You beat me so many times, though. Norcott, congratulations. 8th place is pretty solid.
Yeah, good job, Norcott. And thank you. Appreciate the support.
And once again, you guys start seeing these same players night in and night out. Do you kind of feel like you all know each other in this community?
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, you always see a lot of the same names, and it's cool to put some names with faces now, with 4 of us here. So
Yeah, exactly.
A lot
You're
of
like, oh, hey, Peebs. Like, what's up, Royal Forever? Hickory Smoke, you into barbecue? Okay. We see Dave Roberts on the phone once again, I'm assuming with the bullpen, still at second.
yeah, keep the tag on him right there.
Wow. Yeah, fundamentals. I like that. How we're dropping the fundamentals. John, was that you?
I think that might have been me.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I can't help myself.
We have all the devices right now, as I'm sure
Yeah.
you do as well. We're trying to just make sure we have everything's fully operational. Mike, in your opinion, was he safe?
I think he's out. I think he gets him like right on the left shoulder just before the left hand gets the bag. So I don't know if this is like an option that you guys actually have to pick from, because that would be a pretty fun one, right? It's like safe or out, overturn to replay. But if not, we should add it.
I think that's what the future holds.
Yeah, I think it's going to get overturned. I think it's going to be out.
Yeah, and obviously Dave Roberts was on the phone with his video staff as they challenged this play. So you're saying overturn. I know this isn't a question here in the Rally app, but why not go around the horn? Stephanie, what do you think? Should it be overturned? Was he safe or was he out?
I'm calling.
Out. She's going out. As he's safe or out?
He's out.
Out. John?
Out.
Tyler's giving
Yep, I'm going the out.
And that was the official ruling.
And we were about to get that Kierme question right, too.
The only pick I've gotten right.
You were this close. It was a full count, too. Guys, that was kind of a bizarre second half of the inning.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Baseball, baby.
Yep.
Extremely bizarre. As we get to know our contestants just a little bit better, we turn our attention to John, Illinois resident. And it appears in your bio here that I highlighted so nicely. This thing was in my purse earlier, so it's not in great shape. You started playing this game with your brother. It's kind of a way to bond with him.
Yeah, we first started playing Beat the Streak like years and years ago, which was another MLB like app game, and then
Look at this player card, by the way. Amazing.
we found the and that's my brother's arm behind my head with the Cubs World Series. And then
oh wow.
Yeah, with Beat the Streak not being in the with a shortened season, they didn't have it, so they had the rally game. So we found that game and we started playing it, and we're each night we'd be like texting each other how you doing, how you playing, and like we'd see each other on the scoreboard and leapfrogging each other. So yeah, we it was two of us playing against each other.
So did he give you any advice as you went into this championship matchup?
Yeah, he said take low for a home run the first inning, and I forgot to. I wish he said that.
Did not. There's no way that you went against him. That would have been amazing, though. Okay, so if you win the $10,000, what will you do with all that cash?
I just closed on a house on Monday, so I'm moving, and I need to buy a washer, dryer, and some furniture. So some practical stuff, nothing exciting, but some things around for the new house.
Well,
Congratulations.
congratulations on the new house.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It is. That's what happens when you become an adult, guys. You're like, oh, what are you going to do with all that money? I'm going to buy a washer dryer. Like, it's okay. I'm just going to go blow it on a European vacation or do something that will actually be good for you and your family. So that's
And a
awesome.
grill. I need a grill too.
Okay, grills are fun.
Yeah,
I
grills
can
are
get
fun,
on board
yeah.
with the grill.
Okay.
What's your specialty?
I like doing ribeye, and my wife does a fillet. So
Wow. Okay, guys, I think we're all going to have to get invited over to his house once the pandemic's over. Okay, guys, as we head into the bottom of the second inning, let's lock in our pick here. Max Muncy. What do we believe will happen in this at-bat? Stephanie, let's go to you.
I had picked strikeout for this one. I don't think he's going to get on base, and I'm not quite sure about the contact, but I've picked strikeout for him.
Okay, I like that one. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, when Max Muncy, his picks, they were always difficult for me because them playouts are always worth more because he doesn't do that too often. But that's what I always end up gravitating towards, and then usually it never pays off. But every once in a while. Last night I went against it, and then he did get an in play out for one of them. So it's just the luck of the draw there.
Yeah, luck is so much of this. Mike, I'm going to ask you to weigh in here. The guy hitting cleanup that you would normally think would rake at the dish is kind of true to form as the Dodgers have gone here in this postseason, and he's just been really selective at the plate.
Yeah, he did not have the best regular season after two outstandingly good seasons for the Dodgers. He was only okay this year. Wasn't actually that great in the postseason up until the last couple of days. The nice thing about him here is, as I remember, he does not have huge platoon splits. Like a lot of lefties just get crushed by other lefty pitchers, and he is not that kind of guy. So I don't know. I have a decent amount of confidence in him where I would like to choose walk if that was an option because he gets a lot of walks, but I guess it's not. On base, there we go.
Yeah, we'll go to 373 points.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a solid pick here as we have a 2-1 count. First pitch, a ball called on an 86-mile-an-hour slider. Second pitch, a strike called, 95. And then back-to-back balls. So Max Muncy now ahead in the count. 3-1. He wipes his brow at the plate as we're watching the broadcast here on Fox. John, I defer back to you. What was your selection?
yeah, I went strikeout as well. And it's walks looking pretty good. And yep, he just got a walk, so wrong on that.
Okay, so it seems as if our expert might do this for a living because Mike, you've been fairly accurate thus far.
Yeah, I'm not eligible to play this game. I guess I should.
I know. I was gonna say you would rake. Okay, let's move on to our next pick. What will happen in West Philadelphia, born and raised in Will Smith's at bat? Tyler, what you got?
First off, that Will Smith versus Will Smith at bat, or the pitcher versus batter, that was so much fun. Glad
So
to see that
cool,
finally
right?
happen. But for the pick here, I went with the in play out. No reason necessarily in particular, but seems to get on base, about once a game or so. But see if we can get the in play out here.
Will Smith facing Blake Snell. Snell still obviously hasn't even made it through the order yet, as we are here in the bottom of the second. Runner on first, no outs here. Game 2 of the World Series. Smith hitting just 6 for 33 since his 5-hit game against the Padres in the division series. Mike, are you sensing a trend here?
Yeah, you're right. I looked that up the other day, and I was surprised that almost half of his postseason hits came in that one game. So that stood out to me.
Numbers can be deceiving.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. I also think, even though he's young, I would consider him, if not already the best hitting catcher in baseball, pretty close to being in that conversation. Not the best all-around catcher. That's probably still Ramuto, but Will Smith is an absolute dude at the plate. And I don't remember what our options were here, but he's going to get a hit.
Okay, you're definitely saying a hit. I see Tyler nodding. I see Stephanie nodding. What was your selection, Royal Forever 25?
So I would have gone with on base, but it locked in before I got to change it back. But I have selected actually a home run for him. So I was hoping he would pull it out the park this at bat.
Guys, Stephanie's playing for keeps tonight, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so let's talk about that energy. You're just going for it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a feeling as far as where the action's happening right now and kind of where the game's at. So going off of my gut feeling here.
It's so interesting to see the difference in strategies amongst all of our contestants as Smith works a 2-2 count here in the bottom of the second. No outs, runner on first. Yet you guys are all still in this championship contest playing for $10,000. Ezzy, what's your strategy when it comes to these types of situations?
I got to be honest, it varies. I mean, for some of the people watching who aren't too familiar with the app, this bonus thing is new. So in the last week or so, strategies have had to change drastically. Thank you, NOSQ Live. Thank you. But yeah, the strategies change from at bat to at bat as well. But I don't know. Part of it is like someone was just saying, energy, and we got to remember we're not just picking on the guys at the plate. We're picking on the guys on the mound. Blake Snell is going to get his due today as well. So there's a lot of factors that overlap and or sometimes at odds, and I don't really know. It's about the gut. My gut's been with me my whole life, so I gotta turn to the gut when in doubt.
It's been there for all those years. And speaking of gut feel, will Cody Bellinger strike out? And that was following Will Smith. He was called out on strike. So pickoff attempt. John, what's your gut saying?
I went with no, just because of all the other options that could happen, and you're only getting about 2-1 odds for the points. There's so many other options. I just like taking the no.
I like it. Once again, that's kind of a gut decision. I can appreciate that one. Tyler, what are your thoughts here? Especially when you have two selections in these outcomes, do you feel more or less comfortable making your picks?
It really just depends on how much the yes is going to be worth. If it's worth a few thousand, then obviously it's a bit more nerve-wracking because, if you lose it, you're going to get sent towards the bottom or buried at least under a decent amount of people. So, but with the bonus bar, I've been leaning towards no more on these.
Bonus bar, obviously a new element to this game, and it's changed the strategy quite a bit. Mike, let's talk about strategy here. Lefty-lefty matchup. Belly had a pretty slow regular season, but again, only 60 games, small sample size. He's been heating up in the postseason. What are your thoughts on this, AB?
Dodgers had the tied for second lowest team strikeout rate this year as hitters, and the Rays had the second highest. I think about trying to combine this pitcher and hitter, and I'm thinking there's like a 20-ish% chance of a strikeout, something like that. So it really comes down to that kind of math for me. Do I think that 1 in 5 thing is going to happen, or do I think the 4 in 5 thing is going to happen? And I'm going to go with not a strikeout.
Okay. I can definitely appreciate that pick. All these pickoff attempts, how does that disrupt the rhythm of, obviously both the pitcher and the guy at the plate?
Well, that's a good question. I think it varies a little bit. Like some pitchers really seem to get messed up by it. And I've never noticed that with Snell. I never really thought about it from a batter's point of view. I'm not sure I've ever actually read anybody investigating it. And I think that's fascinating. Now I want somebody to do a study on if pickoff attempts bother the batter, or if he just wants his guy to stay put and let me take some swings. That's actually fun to think about.
The things that pop into our heads while we're doing these streams. But yeah, honestly, you think about it, and I played softball at a very low level, but there were times when you're like, no, I like being in that rhythm, and they have their routines, and then obviously the pitchers have their routines. And as it turns out, Cody Bellinger walked. As we move on to AJ Pollock, steps up to the dish. We have runners on first and second, 1 out here for Blake Snell as he faces AJ Pollock. John, what are you thinking, my friend?
I went home run. He's had 7 home runs with 50-something at bats against righties during the regular season. Pretty good average in the regular season. Obviously, he hasn't done that great so far in the postseason, but, it's a spot. I just think he's going to get a home run.
You know what? I can definitely appreciate that. We have a mound visit here for Blake Snell. Obviously, the Rays with that 1-0 lead here early on, and you have one runner in scoring position at least. AJ Pollock, you're talking about his success, John, in the regular season, a .345 average against lefties in the regular season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, so we have a lead change, my friends. Ezzy Hickory Smoke, I don't know if it was all the fan support weighing in here on our broadcast or on our stream. 2,905 points. Stephanie, you're in at second with 2,619. Slam Diego, 2021. Isn't that the year we're all waiting for? And in fourth place, John, 1,872 points. Guys, there is a ton of separation here. I feel like this could still be anybody's game as the mound visit has concluded and AJ Pollock's at bat continues, my friends. John, how comfortable are you feeling in fourth place?
Not great, but it's close. I'm just one good bonus bump, of catching. So I've got to get a couple right here, and hopefully.
As a fan,
Yeah.
what is your candid reaction to Christy Mabe?
I know them.
You should have played it off. Like, you just have random fans out in the world, floating around in the internet, just loving your shirt and thinking you're a hottie. This is why I love this rally community. This is fantastic. So right now, I believe we have a 1-1 count. Oh, what a cut there. High fly ball. Down the line, G-Man Choi makes the catch. We have 2 outs. Looks like both runners hold, guys. So did anyone select that as their outcome?
Tyler.
No, I guess just me.
Just Tyler. Okay. Well, I guess it's good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, Kike Hernandez steps up to the plate. You want to talk about personality. Obviously, that has no bearing on the pick, but I just wanted to throw that one out there. Ezzy, what do you think? What's going to happen with his AB?
I got Kike getting on base this time.
Okay.
I like the I like the matchup. I picked something else for the last time we had a chance to pick on him, which does come into play. I don't like to pick the same thing for guys too many times in a row. There's no system behind that, but it's just how I feel. But we'll see, man. Let's go, Kike.
I can appreciate that. Mike, do you remember that year? It was like 2 or 3 seasons ago when Kike played, I think, every position but catcher. People are bringing signs to the game saying, let Kike catch. Aside from that and what he was able to do there in the championship series with that game-tying home run, pinch hit homer, what direction do you think he's trending in this postseason?
Well, other than being objectively hilarious, he exists to destroy left-handed pitching. We've seen him do it a couple of times so far, not just this postseason, but really like in the almost 5 or so years he's been with the Dodgers. He's one of the best platoon hitters in baseball. He's only okay against righties, but he smashes lefties, and that's entirely why he's in this game right now, is to pound Blake Snell before they take him out of the game.
He exists to destroy left-handed pitching. I think that's a good reason to exist. I want that to be my purpose on this planet. Hernandez, 344 with runners in scoring position in the regular season. Slam Diego, what was your pick?
I went with the in-play out here. I was kind of debating between that or on base, but settled with the in-play to try to end the inning.
End on a high note, as you can see our leaderboard scrolling at the bottom of the screen here. Hickory Smoke in the lead with 2,905 points. Do you think you'll be able to go into the 3rd inning with that lead following this at bat as he strikes out swinging?
I guess it all depends if someone picks strikeout.
Did anyone pick strikeout? No, Stephanie, shake your head.
I wish.
No.
Wow, guys, I wonder if that will give us a lead change here as we wrap up the inning. Do we want to continue to get to know our contestants this evening? Ezzy, so you're from New Jersey, but you just moved to Austin. Is this correct?
Yeah, I'm in Texas now.
How are you liking it?
I like it. It's everybody told me, but it is hot, which is tough for a guy like me. I'm not used to that, but it's a fun town. I'm in Austin, Texas. It's a fun town, and I came down here with the family. So far so good. I moved down here right before the pandemic, so I'm kind of just staying in the house and not getting to enjoy my surroundings.
Perfect timing. They're like, how do you like Congress Street? It's great. I've driven through it with the windows up and a hazmat suit on. Other than that, it's fantastic.
So Austin.
Okay, so you're a fan of the New York Yankees.
Most definitely.
How are you feeling following that postseason performance?
Okay. I was bummed for a minute, but not nearly as bummed as I have been. And I feel like they actually gave us more than was expected this year. I know they got a lot of talent and a high payroll, but I'm not loving all their internal decisions lately. So we got some playoff baseball and looking forward to next season. Wondering what they're going to do this offseason. A lot of questions.
Okay, let's put you in that GM seat. What would you do?
Oh man, I don't know. I would re-sign DJ LeMahieu for sure. Glaber's a tough call. He's got a high trade value. He's rough and short, but how do you let a guy like that go? I mean, I love Luke Voigt, but they got to have someone who can play first base for 162 games, unless we have a short season again next year. So there's a lot of tough stuff going on. I hope Gardner comes back for 10 more years. But obviously a guy can dream.
Yes, you can. Well, it's good to start to get to know you. It says you don't have a favorite player, but you love ball players, like you mentioned, Brett Gardner, Tommy La Stella, the opposite coast.
Tommy's from Jersey, though, I think. I think he's a Jersey boy.
And you're not a Mike Trout fan.
I mean, I am. He's an obvious pick. There's a little bitterness there. He coulda, shoulda, would have been a Yankee. And instead we got Teixeira, who seems like a good dude, but
he's a nice guy. Not exactly
he's a ball player.
MVP. Yeah. Well, I love how we are starting to get to know you guys as we, continue to create and develop this rally community. As we get into the top of the third, guys, Kevin Kierme steps up to the plate. What do we think will happen? Stephanie, I go to you.
Oh, well, the question is, will he strike out? And I have picked no, he will not.
No, he will not strike out. 8 strikeouts in his last 19 at-bats. Yeah. I had to defer to our amazing researcher, Sam Anthony here. Will he strike out? You said no, he will not, for 129 points. Mike, do you think that was a sound decision as he grounds out?
Question answered.
I guess the question was answered, and you, Stephanie, registered the point. So congratulations. Dom's Domain, Royal Forever, has this in the bag. Stephanie, see, I knew it would get you some fans here.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I hope I do.
Yes. Okay, guys, let's go to Mike Zunino's at bat. Pull up the question here. I always get right into the plate appearance, but that is completely fine. Mike, what do you think is going to happen here?
Strikeout. Anytime I see Mike Zunino, the first thing I definitely think of is strikeout. He strikes out literally almost half of the time. And yeah, sometimes he'll crush the ball, but it's always a safe bet to go strikeout.
Zero hesitation. Normally I feel like, you're pontificating and just strike out. 289 points, 20 strikeouts this postseason for Zunino. So you were spot on. That's the most in all.
I would pay 289 points to get to choose strikeout.
That's fantastic. John's laughing. Did you choose strikeout, John?
I did. Actually, Mike preluded that a little earlier, saying he's either a strikeout or a home run guy. And so I went strikeout as well, just because the odds of the home run are a little less.
Yes, slightly less. 2-1 count here for Zunino. That's so funny. Strikeout, and strikeout, in case you're in doubt. Dylan Floro still in for the Dodgers. Mike, can you weigh in on that one? How do you feel about that one?
I don't know. I don't know if I understand the question.
Sorry, if the fact that Floro is still in.
Sorry. I was
finish out the inning. Yeah, sorry.
I was reading the question at the bottom there.
Okay, you know what? Let's scratch my question. Go to our fan question. How often would players play multiple games, or did they often play a single game? And does watching the game on TV help more or not for the players? And I like when this factors into strategy. I see Ezzy nodding. What's your
that's-
answer? Multiple questions here.
I think it's a great question. For me, I just figured I'd increase the odds by playing every game, and that also allows you to take one game and say, you know what, this is two bad teams, not good pitching. I'm going to guess for the high point values in this one. If you see a Scherzer versus DeGrom matchup, you're going to say, okay, that's probably not going to net the winners today, but I can try to pick strikeouts in this game. So the more games going on actually really helped me, and then my success rate will reflect that. And also, someone gets high points in an earlier game, you're playing a night game, you know that you're playing against the leader on the leaderboard, not everybody in your game. So it kind of makes your picks for you. And I've actually picked home runs that I wouldn't have picked because of that factor. So I think that's a great question. And about the part on TV, that varies for me. Sometimes watching it on TV helps, and sometimes it hurts. I find when I'm down to one or two games at a time, I generally try to find something else to do in between picks. Because like I said, I second guess my picks till I'm sick to my stomach. So that was a great question.
Yeah, that is a fantastic question. So sometimes you need that added distraction so you can just turn your attention away from it. Stephanie, is that a similar approach for you? And
Yeah,
what's your answer to that question?
Yeah, I did the same. I actually picked kind of the games I knew were going to get the most points, just picking up runs, especially home run hitters. Big teams that had the good hitters is when I played the most. If I was down on one of the games, like playing multiple games, I would stop actually playing that game and continue working.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So it would just depend on my focus on where I'd want to stay. I knew that some of the players had really high home run percentages. So like they would give you like 6,000 to 7,000 points for a home run. So I would use that to my advantage as well if I knew that they were going to be coming in.
Yeah, that strategy completely makes sense. And John, we were talking about this earlier as he hopped off for a second. Is that something you do during the regular season? Obviously, you're looking for games that will have the highest point totals.
Yeah, that's a similar strategy. In the beginning, you would maybe play a couple games, and you get a game that's building up big points. And once you find a game that you got in a rhythm, maybe you kind of fall off the other game. There's been some cases though where maybe I left the game too early, and there's some big points later on, and I've stopped. For watching on TV, what was tough is obviously watching the local games out here is the Cubs, and I didn't like playing the rally game with my home team playing because I was very biased in my picks. I would just pick either home runner on base for the Cubs players and strike out for the opposing. I gave the other team any credit, so the only time that would have worked was the Alex Mills game. So
that's actually really good advice because you talk about picking kind of with your heart. That's obviously not usually sound strategy.
Yeah.
As we have Austin Meadows at the plate, play underway once again. We had a pitching change, and it is Victor Gonzalez in replacing Dylan Flora, which, Mike, I was talking to you about. And he gets Meadows to pop up shortstop. So there we have it, friends. That was a very efficient work there by Gonzalez. So let's continue this conversation. Welcome back, Ezzy. Tyler, answer to that question. And I thought that was a terrific fan question because it basically encompasses all of the strategy involved with both regular season and now postseason play.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a very good question as well. And I'd have to agree with what the other three said. Same for me. I would play multiple games. Usually I'd try to play all of them if possible because you knew one of them was going to be the winning game. Usually you just didn't know which one. So you kind of had to play all if you wanted to really have a solid chance at, at least competing for one of the top spots. And then let's see. And then as far as watching games on TV, not too often. I think that would kind of throw me off a little bit. I'd start second guessing stuff. I mean, sometimes it could definitely be helpful because there's things I didn't know, or there's maybe insight from the announcers that might have helped, such as like if they're thinking about an intentional walk or something and I don't realize it until it's too late. So.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting concept, especially when you think about what we're doing tonight. You're on this live stream, so you guys don't have the added advantage of listening to the broadcast. You have Mike Petriello, who is just as good, if not better, right, than John Smoltz and Joe Buck. You're basically the same thing.
I mean, he might be better, but we have Mike for hindsight, which is tough.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. All right, guys, you are watching the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM. We have 4 of our best Rally players who we are talking strategy with right now from this season, who are battling it out during Game 2 of the World Series on Fox for a grand prize of $10,000 and the title of 2020 MLB Rally Champion. Guys, we are now going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. How is everyone feeling at this point? Ezzy, how are you feeling, my friend?
I mean, I'm all right. I'm no better or worse than when this started. It's still early and things are tight. As everybody here knows, things can change very quickly. I mean, I'm feeling good just in general. Win or lose, I'll feel good. But in terms of how this game is going, you never know, man. Pitch by pitch.
Pitch by pitch, much like the
Happy
game.
to be here.
Life. Happy, you know what? So am I, guys. Happy to be healthy and employed as Chris Taylor walks up to the plate. Let's talk about outcomes of this at bat. Stephanie, we'll start with you. You are muted. Just kidding. Sorry. Tyler, let's go to you. Sorry.
Yeah, this one was kind of tricky. Wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to go with because he's gotten on, he's been getting up some hits recently, but he also can strike out too. So I kind of went back and forth on that. And then, although it doesn't make any sense, I settled on in play out because it's kind of a happy medium and it's worth 303 points. So what I said, doesn't play into what I picked, but sometimes the ones that don't always make sense is what works out. So.
It sounds like the strategies vary just depending on the situation. It's all situational at this point. Blake Snell now 30 pitches in. Mike, how is he looking at this point as he faces the righty and Chris Taylor, who just fouled one off of his ankle?
Let me just say real quick, the in-play out choice is the coward's bet, and I respect it.
Absolutely is. Absolutely.
It's definitely the thing you pick when you don't actually want to pick anything or know what to pick. And I agree with you on this matchup. The Taylor Snell matchup is not one I have a good feeling for. Like something's definitely going to happen. So what do I feel the least bad about? That is what I would pick. Snell's been interesting. Snell's been peak Snell, right? He is, not terribly efficient, and half of his pitches are outside the strike zone, and yet he somehow kept runners off the scoreboard. Like he's not super fun to watch, but he always gets the job done.
That's a really good way of describing him. It's not the most exciting performance, but yet here we are. They have a 1-0 lead. Now Chris Taylor has reached base in 12 of 13 career World Series games. It's kind of a fun tidbit there. See some eyebrows raised as Tyler's nodding. Stephanie, how are we feeling at this point? You were once in the lead, but once again, we're only in the 3rd inning. How are you feeling?
I think that rally bonus points, kind of got me out of the lead there for a little bit because I wasn't picking the in-play out as I should have been doing the coward's bet. But I'm focusing on kind of changing my strategy up right now just a little bit to kind of push over those bonus points as well.
Okay, so you're leaning more towards those safer bets and the in-play outs and then less of we're just going home run and we want 2,000 points at a time.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, I can definitely appreciate that as Chris Taylor strikes out swinging. Here we go. Mookie Betts at the dish. Will he hit a single? John, what are your thoughts?
Yes. I'm kind of down. The 800 points would be pretty good. And I'm guessing my other partners out there are probably picking no for the safe play. So maybe it's just a strategy to maybe gain a few hundred points. So
I can see that. There's some gamesmanship here. Tyler? Safe strategy? Did you go with the safe bet?
Yeah, these next 2 picks were a bit brutal for me because they're both the same between Betts and Seager. Will they hit a single? So I know they're both easily could. They both easily could at singles, but usually I try to lean towards no, but that makes it hard because I know they can easily get on base. So,
but how will he get on base?
Yes, that's a question as well. Yep.
And he grounds out to 3rd. So we shall see what happens with Corey Seager. Will he hit a single? Ezzy, would you go with Hickory Smoke?
I'm going yes for this guy. I figured I would take yes for Mookie and Corey, and if one of them hit, then my average points were going to be good. Corey did not. Mookie did not. But they're both hot hitters, and Blake Snell is looking pretty good right now. But I gotta take yes this time for Corey because I feel like he's gonna get on base a couple times.
Mike, when you see, we're just talking about Snell, like once again, not the most exciting pitcher, but he is obviously pitching to contact, getting those ground balls. Do you think one can sneak their way through when it's Corey Seager at the plate?
I think yes, but I also think Corey Seager has been hitting the ball so hard that he is going to either get an out or hit something harder than a single. So I would say no on this.
Ooh, that's actually good. He's too good for for an out there. Okay, let's see what he's doing in this at bat so far. We have a 1-1 count. First pitch, strike, swinging, 88-mile-an-hour slider. Second pitch was a ball on another slider, getting some of the off-speed stuff out of the zone. Ezzy, how are we doing? Corey goes deep. Esmeralda, Salazar. I like it. I mean, it's kind of to your point, Mike. He's either going to go deep or he's probably going to do
it has never been less likely
game
in baseball history to hit a single. Like just across a
I
baseball.
would love to see, what the stats are on that. This is definitely not someone you would bet on for doing something like that. We have a 2-2 count right now. Tyler, how are you feeling?
So far so good. Until he swings it and hits it into the outfield and for a single. But hopefully you'll strike him out and
strikeout.
Yep, and there you go.
There it is.
And he strikes out.
Snuck away from that one.
Nice.
All right. So did anyone say he was? Who said he was going to hit a single? That was John.
I certainly did.
Stephanie. Okay. Wow. Okay. So actually, a lot of our contestants here is we in the third inning on our Rally 2020 championship evening here. Thanks to all of you who are watching the stream. $10,000 on the line here. Big thanks to our expert, Mike Petriello, for joining us for the first 3 innings. Any words of wisdom before you leave us?
Good luck, I would say, certainly, first of all. And don't overthink it. Obviously there's some math that goes into this, and just think about what's the most likely, and then just go for the points. Swing big and hit home runs.
I mean, it worked for Stephanie with Brandon Lau's home run. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Next time, the guitar, we only have 1 run total in this game, so we were just like 9 short. It was fine.
I promise. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. Guys, we have Sarah Langs on deck. She will be joining us here shortly. We did kind of a little run through of this on Thursday. She was with us for the first inning when we were watching the championship series between the Dodgers and the Braves. How is everyone feeling at this point? Hickory, you doing well? You have the fans out there, Streamland, cheering you on?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm having a good time, but definitely a little anxious.
Yeah, and guess who's due up for the Tampa Bay Rays next? You guys locking in?
This guy.
Brandon Lau, who wasn't doing a whole lot of anything in the postseason, goes ahead with a solo shot. He is responsible for the lone run in this game, and our girl Stephanie was the one who chose that. But now you're switching up your strategy. Are you hoping, and we talked about this, are you hoping for Lightning to strike twice?
Unfortunately not. I don't feel like he can go back to back on this one, unfortunately. I'm debating.
That's fair. That's probably the sound pick.
Yep.
And as of now, it looks like he will be facing lefty Victor Gonzalez, who came in for Dylan Floro, who came in for Gonsolin. So we have this bullpen game. So obviously, if anything changes, I can't see what's happening. I'm assuming it's going to be Gonzalez, since I think he lasted, 2 pitches. Is that going to change your strategy at all, John?
No, not for this inning. I'm going. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. The in-play out or strikeout was pretty much about the same point total. So in-play out's probably a little safer. So I just went with that one. And I don't think he'll go home runs 2 times in a row. But this is probably when it happens then.
Yeah, it is, exactly. We're like, the odds say it's not going to happen. And Lau's like, here we go. I gotcha. Okay, so we have Gonzalez still on the bump, and it was actually just threw 1 pitch there to get out of that jam. in the third inning. So solo shot there in the first. You look at that postseason average, guys, 123 in the 2020 postseason. Yet Kevin Cash is stuck with him there in that second spot. Tyler, what was your selection? Big swing and a miss.
I went with the in-play out here. Like I think it was John that was saying before, it's worth a little bit more than some of the others. So I just kind of went with the happy medium there.
The happy medium is Noah weighs in here as he's joining us on the stream. It makes the most mathematical sense to go with the most likely option every time with the bonuses in play. Why doesn't everyone do that? That's a great question, Noah. Stephanie?
Because you got to take your risks. You got to take your chances. Even with taking those little picks here and there, they don't add up, and your home runs can get you back in the game, just like we saw in the first inning. So definitely something that can happen.
So it's better just to continue to mix it up because Noah, yeah, you had a great point, especially with the fact that they've been implementing the bonus bar. Yeah, you can't just always choose a home run as a Rosarena steps up to the plate. What is going to happen in this AB? Hickory Smoke, what did you select for the hot young Cuban?
I'm going for him to get on base. I know home runs he's hit a lot of them, but they're a bit of a reach. And he is 0 for 1 tonight, so I think the odds are getting better that he's going to get on base at some point. So I'm hoping he gets on base here.
Yeah, and I would ask for you to answer the question that Noah threw out there. It does make the most mathematical sense to select what is likely to happen with the bonus bar. Why don't you always go with that strategy?
Well, thank you for your question, Noah. And, it's a slippery slope because like we saw, Stephanie didn't pick the normal thing and she hit it on the head. So that makes the rest of us kind of deviate and say, oh man, now we gotta play smarter, which there's different definitions of playing smarter. Also, if everyone picked the high percentage thing, the same thing every time, we'd all be tied at the end.
Yeah, that is very true.
And not to mention, it's a little bit more fun to go outside the box,
Yeah, you gotta take
especially
a risk.
when you're right.
As we welcome in Sarah Lings, our expert. Petriello tags out, you tag in. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How's it going so far, you guys?
It's going.
So far, so good. Not too terrible, not too great. Somewhere in the middle. So
stress levels with the game, with your game.
Out.
Moderate.
Yeah. I'd say somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, these guys have ice water running through their veins. Although Stephanie early on picked Loud to homer, and we saw the solo shot. Yeah, so she took an early lead, but now you can see the leaderboard. We had a lead change. Slam Diego in at first with 5,066 points. Hickory Smoke 3,527. What did you pick, Slam Diego? Stephanie in third, 3,148, and John 3,008 points. Dang, Slam Diego.
I just hit my bonus. You got my bonus, Marco. Got my bonus, so that's why I shot up. So someone will be coming up here pretty quick. But until then, it looks nice numbers wise.
Yeah, that's a very shiny number. And Sarah, we were talking about this as G-Man Choi steps up to the plate. Rosarena walked as he is now on base here, 1 out in the top of the fourth. We were talking about the bonus bar. So you can obviously go for the highest point total, but then you won't be able to accrue that bonus bar that works its way across the top of your screen. So sometimes it's better to go with the sure thing. As we see G-Man Choi at the plate, what are your thoughts on what you should select for this at-bat?
Well,
grounds into a potential double play. Things are escalating so quickly here, Sarah.
You beat it out. There's some speed from G-Man Choi. You love to see that, Noted speedster. We'll check out what a sprint speed was. 26.3 feet per second on that sprint speed. That is that's a little bit below the MLB average, but I'm sure that's above his season average. So that's something, and kept them in the inning here.
Yes, and he was trying really hard. As we move on to Margot, will he hit a home run? And it looks like we have a pitching change. Who do you think is going to come in for Gonzalez? Oh, it looks like Dustin May.
Yeah, it looks like
coming in. Okay, so does that change your thoughts on Margot hitting a home run? Sarah, sorry.
Oh, I didn't know if they were going to make their picks or not. Sorry about that. I don't know. I mean, Dustin May is so hard to hit. I mean, he throws so hard. We've seen that throughout the postseason. Obviously, it didn't go the best for him in that Game 7 start, which he found out about at 1 p.m., the day that he was going to be starting. So kind of atypical. He walked a lot of guys, but I don't think he gave up a home run there. So I would not be picking a home run off of Dustin May, but if you can get a hold of one at 100 miles an hour, I mean, it could go really far. So that's definitely something.
Yeah, it is all about that momentum. And speaking of momentum, we have another lead change.
Yeah, baby.
They're getting crazy here in the top of the fourth, the championship here of the Rally 2020 face-off. Ezzy in first with 5,561 points. Was that the bonus bar?
Yeah, finally got there, man.
Congratulations, Slam Diego in second. It's a close second too, my friend. 5,314. Stephanie in third with 3,148. And Peebs, I know you're working that bonus bar. You're on the cusp, aren't you? You gotta be there.
A few pieces away. I know. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you select for Margot's AB facing Dustin May?
I went no. Just it's tough for him to get a home run here. May's pitching. Pitch is pretty good. Obviously, the last game wasn't that great, but you're getting 300 or 3,000 points, which is nice. But yeah, I need that bonus bar, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I feel like a strikeout.
You think he'll strike out? And that's basically on par with what Sarah was saying, especially when you have a fresh Dustin May coming in ready to go. Stephanie, did you take the gamble?
I absolutely did. I hear everybody else.
I love that.
I'm taking him to go all the way out. Let's get Dustin May a home run on his record here.
I like that. I like that approach. You've got gumption, my friend. If anyone's following along on this stream, you got to love the story that is Stephanie, Royal Forever 25, because she just goes for it. And all it is one swing of the bat. It could change everything. Sarah, that's a lot of points on the line. And like you said, high velocity, you're going to transfer that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, the Rays have had a couple high velo homers, though, this postseason. I mean, Mike Brasso's home run was off a 98.2 mile an hour pitch from Aroldis Chapman. So we've seen them. Even Brandon Lau's home run earlier was on a fast pitch for him, 95.1 miles an hour. So maybe he can catch up to one. I mean, stranger things have happened, but we'll see. I love the pick. I love it.
I do too, right? It's just so much fun, especially when you see the different strategies at play here. And, we have other players weighing in, like Ross right here. What's your strategy for the end of the game? Try to line up bonus to hit at the end, or do you just play normal and take some risks? Tyler, what do you think? Slam Diego. Oh, foul ball. That was
Heart stopping there. Whew, just snuck right by.
Oh my goodness. Manuel Margot bends it like Beckham past the right field foul pole. Oh my gosh. He almost got the guy with the parab mic. Sorry.
But back to Ross. Hi, Ross. I know who Ross is. So, but for my strategy, I basically it depends on where I'm at in the standings. If I'm towards the top, I try to be conservative, but also depending if I have enough of a lead, then I pick some of the higher point plays so I don't get passed. But with the bonus bar, if I'm close to the bonus bar, obviously I want to try and fill that up and get that extra boost, since that's going to make a huge difference in the end.
So you just go with the sure thing.
Yeah, try to go with what I think is actually going to happen.
That makes complete sense. 1-2 count here on Manuel Margot. Righty matchup. Oh, man, he's hitting the ball hard. Sarah, I saw the look on your face. What are your thoughts on this at-bat so far? Do you think there is an increased chance of him hitting a home run, even though he is behind in the count?
I don't know about the home run. I know that was the question for you guys, but it feels like he's making some good contact here, and he's not getting fooled by any of these pitches from May. So I don't know if it's going to go over the fence, but it feels like he could definitely get a hit here. And it's a weird thing with May. He doesn't get as many strikeouts or swings and misses as you would expect with how hard he throws.
Yeah.
So, and there we go.
There we go. We have a single, not a home run, but our tremendous researcher here at MLB Network, Sam Anthony, gave me a little stat that you all will appreciate, especially you, Sarah. 109.5 miles per hour was the exit velocity on that foul ball. So,
wow.
Whoa, that thing was moving. Okay, Margot is on. We have runners on first and second, 2 outs on the top of the fourth. Tampa has a 1-0 lead. Joey Wendell now at the plate. What is going to happen in this at bat? Ezzy, let's go to you.
I picked in play out before Margot's at bat was over, and I'm kind of feeling right now like here come the Rays, so maybe on base would have been a good switch to pick locked on me. Which is supposed to happen. But
I understand what you're saying with the momentum factor.
So I'm working with in play out at this point. So let's go Dustin May. Let's go Dodger B.
John, what did you go with? And obviously, when your picks lock like that, it's hard to pick based on the situation.
I was leaning towards on base, but I'm kind of down in some points, and maybe May's going to struggle here. Like he did last game. With the first batter, so I went home run, taking a chance.
Wow.
Oh, John, I like that. Elizabeth says, I want to come to Peep's house when he's grilling steaks. I'll take a ribeye. Wow. And here we go. Joey Wendell with an RBI. RBI double for Joey Wendell. Who selected a base hit?
Anybody on base?
Crickets. Nope.
Wow.
With faith in Dustin May.
Seriously,
Right?
He looked pretty solid in that previous AB as the Rays continue to build on that lead. 3-0 here in the top of the fourth. Runner once again in scoring position. That is one Joey Wendell who hit that ball. Wow, on a rope, just right up the middle. Sarah Langs, as we begin to lock in our second pick here for Willy Adams, do you think that should have any impact on what our players are selecting moving forward?
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're catching up to him here. You were saying how, Ezzy, I think if your pick hadn't locked before that you might have gone with something else. And it does feel like they've gotten to him, whether it's actually his pitches, whether it's in his head, whether it's some sort of combination, but definitely might not be picking it out here, based on how this inning has been going. This is really, we haven't seen the Rays string together hits like this very much. And honestly, in a couple of games, I know they've won games, but their hitting hasn't been that great. So this is good to see for them. Good sign for Rays fans, I think.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of their runs have been manufactured via the long ball, and here they are, starting to get some traffic. And Adames grounds out. Guys, we have a tight race here as we go into the bottom of the fourth. John, Peebs, I know you have some friends at home wanting to grill with you. So $10,000 would go far for the washer and dryer in your new home. And, of course, the grill to grill those bone-in ribeyes. You're only 37 points behind Stephanie. How are you feeling, my friend?
I got the last question right. Stephanie, where were you at? Am I in front now?
No, I think that's updated. I think that was with your extra points there.
No. I just got the last question. I'm at 33.53 now.
Okay, then you've taken.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So you are out of the cellar, Stephanie. Now in fourth place. We will update the scoreboard here in just a second, guys, as we go into the bottom of the fourth. Sarah Langs, we're so happy to have you on board as our expert to help our players in the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM with $10,000 on the line. Help our contestants with their picks. As we head into the bottom of the fourth, Justin Turner facing Blake Snell. What will happen in this at bat? And obviously the point totals will factor in here, but just based on his tendencies in the past, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how the rest of the start goes for Snell. I mean, we saw him in his last few starts in the postseason and really the entire year really laboring. He hasn't gone 6 innings in a start in a really long time, 19 straight. And that first inning, he threw 10 pitches and it felt like, okay, you know what? This is an efficient Blake Snell. This is completely different. And then the second inning happened and now he's thrown a lot more pitches and it's kind of looking like we've expected. And Justin Turner, you talk about professional hitter, veteran, all of those things. Maybe they're cliches, but they're so true, especially about him on this team. So I think he's going to give him a difficult at bat to start out this inning. So I think that picking him to potentially get on base makes a lot of sense.
That makes complete sense. Tyler nodding his head. Blake Snell, 6 strikeouts in the 3 innings pitched thus far. Tyler, did you lock in your pick?
I'm kind of, so it hasn't officially locked yet. I'm kind of going back and forth between the in-play out and the on base. Justin Turner's kind of thrown me off a little bit recently because he struck out twice last night and he struck out in his first at bat, which is a bit unusual for him. So curious. I'm not exactly sure what to expect now. So.
Okay, well, you know who did not strike out? It was Joey Wendell with that 2-run double earlier to extend the Rays lead. Let's take a look at that hit.
To add to the lead for Blake Snell. 0-1. That's into right center and to the wall. 1 run scores. That's Choi. Margot all the way around, and Wendell has delivered. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay here in the 4th. Well, Dustin May has not thrown one good.
All right, so we saw what happened there. It's so interesting to see how the pendulum is starting to swing back in the other direction following game 1, where the Dodgers just exploded offensively. As we watched Justin Turner at the plate here, we were talking about that potential outcome. So far, we have a 1-0 count. Blake Snell has on Justin Turner. John, what was your pick?
I was thinking it's going to be a tough at it. I think this can go 3-2 count, and he eventually gets a strikeout.
Okay, Sarah's nodding. Obviously, Turner giving Snell a tough time. And that's what the Dodgers have been doing in general. We've kind of been talking about that this postseason, just so selective at the plate and just really getting those, pitch counts up, especially per plate appearance. And this veteran presence. So far, what are your early impressions of this plate appearance?
Yeah, I was nodding along mostly because I like that you're agreeing it's probably going to be a deep at bat. But, to Tyler's point about him striking out twice yesterday and that being a little atypical, and now he's already struck out once. Last time he struck out in back-to-back postseason games was in 2017. And we know the Dodgers have played a lot of postseason games since, so 2017 sounds recent, but for them it isn't. And it was the last game of the NLCS that year and then the first game of the World Series. So, to the point that this isn't really what he does, I'd be a little surprised to see him strike out here again, but it does feel like we're going to see this Snell pitch count really rise, especially in this inning.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's feeling like. And last night we saw Glasnow get up to well over 100 in a relatively short period of time. It escalated quickly, as they like to say. Turner fouls one off here for a full count now. Stephanie? Are we nervous? Does this have any bearing on your selection?
I'm nervous because it sounds like John got this down pretty good as far as his pick. It looks like we're already getting to account and we're battling here, so we'll see what happens.
John's all smiles up there. I know he's just thinking about the grill that he's going to get if he wins this thing. Are you feeling comfortable, John?
Not yet. I need a couple picks here, but still not too far off. If he gets a strikeout here, I feel good because maybe I'm finally onto something. If I can call the count and a strikeout, I get maybe it's worth an extra bonus.
How is your bonus bar at this point as you overtook Stephanie for 3rd place?
It's still pretty weak. Still need a few more.
Okay, that's fair. And you're right there, Sarah. 47 pitches now for Snell. Turner, high fly ball to center field. So he flies out to Kevin Kierme for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. Max Muncy now at the plate, guys. 17 walks this postseason. That's the 4th most in a single postseason. So what do we think will happen in this at bat? Sarah, do you want to guide our contestants along in making this decision?
Yeah. I think you mentioned the walks record, and obviously I think that has a lot to do with some of the other guys in this lineup, but it's pretty interesting to see because I don't think that we really associate Max Muncy with a ton of walks prior to this postseason and all of this. He's really good at not chasing, though, and I think that I would definitely believe, him working another walk here. He looked really patient at the plate in that first at bat, and he has, especially with these Rays pitchers who really try to get you to chase, which is the number one thing the Dodgers don't do, which is what makes this matchup, the entire World Series, really so fascinating. But I could see it's already 1-0, and I could definitely see him working another walk here and getting up there with Chipper is next, third on that list of most walks in a single postseason.
Oh, wow. That's a fun stat.
Chipper Jones in 1999 is next up at 18.
That is good company.
You said that was he's second then? Chipper's second, you said?
Chipper's third. And then you have
so who's above him then?
Gary Sheffield in 1997 had 20. And then Barry Bonds in 2002 had 27. Which, you can't say without laughing because it's just so insane and so much fun, right?
Yes, it is so much fun. So much respect there for Max Muncy, too, from Snell. That first pitch in the dirt. And, we kind of discussed that. Snell just trying to stay out of the strike zone. And then the Dodgers come in with the exact opposite strategy and style, like you were saying, Sarah, almost forcing him to come into the zone. How dangerous is that for Snell?
Yeah, it's interesting because, I think in his last start, there was something like he threw in the zone more than he had in a while, and he still didn't have a high strike rate, which just tells you how disciplined these Dodgers hitters are, that he was even throwing in the zone, but nothing outside of the zone was coming up a strike, which was no chases, obviously. And, he just really doesn't want to throw that meatball right here. You can feel it, and you could really see that even in the LCS, I think, with the way he was, painting around the corners. And if you look at the pitches he's thrown so far tonight, he's really avoiding the bottom of the zone. So in the zone, not like in the dirt, but in the bottom part of the strike zone, which is interesting because I was looking at that as I was noticing that trend. And the Dodgers weren't the best team at hitting pitches there during the regular season. It was actually the Giants. The Dodgers were like 7th, but they do hit and slug against pitches down there pretty frequently. And we know all the trends of high fastballs these days. So.
Well, it seems like things did not trend in the right direction for Max Muncy. That was a long AB. He strikes out swinging. And Sarah, we really appreciate your analysis because there's just so much at play here. And like you said, when you're thinking about that chess match between arguably one of the best pitchers, in baseball recently and one of the best hitting teams in baseball. And it's not just the fact that they can rake at the plate. Will Smith now at the plate, guys. Are we feeling like there's any fatigue here for Snell? And I mean, this is just, numbers aside, just the look on his face. He looks somewhat exasperated. Will he hit a single? Ezzy, what do you think? 1,000 points.
I'm going with yes.
Say yes, man.
For this one. Yeah, I'm going with yes. I mean, Smith can hit. He's a ball player, and I feel like Blake Snell always has that look on his face, but I'm a Yankee fan. But yeah, Snell's definitely – he gets tired right about this time, and I think the ball's going to start flying.
Yep.
Hope I'm right.
Made it through, 3 2/3. He's 58 pitches in. John, confidence level at this point?
Yeah, he's going to get ahead. I'm confident. Yeah,
are you confident will be a single and not an extra base hit or anything beyond that?
Yeah, he knows to stop it first, even if it goes to the wall. I told him.
Catcher speed.
John has 1,000 points riding on the line. You stop.
Yeah.
I think that makes complete sense. I can definitely subscribe to that logic because we have a 1-2 count here. Sarah, I was just kind of talking about that. That's just kind of just gut reaction, just looking at Snell. Do you think he's beginning to wear down in this outing?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that, all these guys make very different facial expressions while pitching. And I think that some of that is just kind of, we all make different facial expressions all the time. But I would be wary of him over these next few batters. I mean, third time through the order is really something with him. And that's a big part of the reason that he hasn't gone 6 innings, which I mentioned before, is that sometimes it's even Kevin Cash, and the Rays preemptively keeping him from facing guys a third time through. So, now that we're getting closer to that, that's definitely sort of the danger zone with him. And if you look at the stats, a lot of guys hit him pretty well even the second time through the order this year. So I think that, to your point of starting to waver, it's right around there. And I love that question down there.
Yeah, what's your answer to that?
I think that Kevin Cash absolutely would. I mean, we'll see what the situation looks like, but I mean, and he's up against another manager who we've seen do something like that. There was a famous Ross Stripling game where Dave Roberts pulled Ross Stripling. I think it was 2017, like the second game of the year, something like that. He had a no-hitter intact. The Giants win. Joe Panik hits a solo home run off a reliever. But I don't think that either of these are teams that are going to try to preserve something like that in a situation like this, because you need to win the game. It's a World Series game, more so than getting someone that personal glory. And they have a great bullpen. If any bullpen could throw a combined no-hitter, which we've seen, but a particularly special one, it would be this bullpen.
Yeah, with this much on the line and you're down 1-0 in the series, you're right that those personal accolades mean less and less when you're working towards at least just staying in the World Series. Tyler, what was your selection?
I very nervously picked no.
Good pick.
Being along at that, it was a bit brutal. Got it. Yep. So
that was an accurate pick.
Lucked out there. But yeah, I could have easily seen a single hit. Just tried to get something to fill up the bonus bar. But yeah, being along at bat there, what an 8-pitch at bat made it quite nerve-wracking to sit through that, knowing that 1,000 points would put me behind quite a bit. So.
Yeah, that was 21 pitches, I believe, that inning for Blake Snell. We do have a lead change, my friends. Slam Diego holding on to first, 5,758 points. Ezzy, Hickory Smoke, 5,664. Peebs, you're slowly but surely beginning to catch the rest of the field. 3,353. And Stephanie here in last, but you're pretty close to Peebs with 3,148. Let's talk about Peebs and Stephanie. Do you guys change your approach here as we head into the top of the fifth inning? Stephanie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I've slowly but surely changed my thing. I'm working up on the rally bonus points more at this point, but we'll see what happens, because like I said, I think we are getting into those innings where anything can happen with the pitchers in the game right now. So we'll see what happens. I do like the next three batters coming up, so we'll definitely see what happens on these three questions.
Yeah, due up next is Kevin Kierme. The question is, will he hit a single? Peebs, we're talking about your strategy changing as you're trailing here in the Rally 2020 Championship with $10,000 on the line. Does it change as we get deeper into this game?
That's a little bit of combo. You got to walk a tight line. You got to get the bonus points, but being down, and if I'm picking the same picks as Tyler or Ezzy, like I gotta also gain some points, right? So
yeah,
I kind of gotta get bonus points plus something maybe a little different than they're picking, because if I'm just gaining the same bonus points they are, I'm never gonna catch them. So I got to do a balancing act of like the last hitter. If I got the 1,000 points there, we would have gained on Tyler there, but obviously it didn't turn out.
Okay, so Kierme facing Dustin May. Sarah, will he single?
I feel like the obvious choice here is no. I mean, Kiermeier's a little bit light hitting, especially this year. We saw him hit a home run last night, but that's not necessarily the norm for him. And I still go with the sort of unfamiliarity against Dustin May ahead of anything else at this point. He hit like 217 this year. So he's just not someone who you're necessarily going to be counting on to get a hit in any specific moment. But we'll see. And by the way, I don't envy you guys. Like I'm listening to you guys talking about the strategy and I'm like, I could not do this. I mean, I would have 5 points right now because I would have overthought all of it. And I love all the strategy, and just hearing this from you guys, I mean, I'm stressed for you. So this is great. I just want to say that.
It really is. And with so much at stake as we see Kierme step up to the plate here. First ball, high and outside, one on the inside. Oh, that's a hot zone over there.
Wow. Yeah, we've seen a handful of fly balls right there, right? Or foul balls, excuse me. Right there.
You're absolutely right. Does this ballpark have any bearing in the fact that the Dodgers have now played 14 games in Globe Life Field, whereas Tampa hasn't really seen a whole lot of action?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was thinking about that, I think yesterday or today. I mean, I think that familiarity definitely helps, outfielders. We've seen these catches that Mookie Betts has made. Obviously, one of them diving forward, but the two at the wall, I feel like some of that was his familiarity that he's played a bunch of games here now. But in terms of, knowing how it plays, where to hit, I don't know. I think that ultimately they're professional hitters. So to me, the main thing is sort of defensive positioning and just figuring out exactly where to stand. But I think after a game, or maybe a game and a half, if we want to say right around now, they know what they're doing and they're used to playing in different venues. And, sometimes they play the Mexico game, those series, all these other ones, and they play fine. So
yeah, that's actually a really good thing to point out. We saw that foul ball there down third base line. And again, it is like trying to navigate the terrain over there and know exactly where the dugout is placed, where the fence is, and make sure you kind of mitigate that risk of hurting yourself versus getting the out here. As we watch this at-bat continue, a 2-2 count. Kiermeier's battling in the box right now. Based on what we've seen so far in this AB, does that change your thoughts on the potential outcome? And just kidding. That ball moved and he strikes out swinging. So Kiermaier, no.
How about that reaction from him too, right? I mean, shaking his head walking back. That was a hard fought at bat, right?
Yes, it definitely was. And I feel like this is something maybe that the Rays are beginning to do, Sarah, that they're beginning to at least get the pitch counts up per plate appearance.
Yeah, it does feel like they've done that a bit more today. But, the strikeouts are still really concerning. They've struck out at least 9 times in 10 straight games this postseason, which is the longest streak in a single postseason. You couldn't play 10 postseason games until 1969, but that's still a pretty big sample size. And, we've seen them, they've had 8 or fewer hits in, I think it's 10 straight, 11 straight now. I mean, all of that is just coming together with not fully producing the way that we saw them in the regular season.
And we saw them get a little bit of traffic there in the 4th inning, and Zunino just grounded out. Anyone happy that was the outcome of that at bat here?
No.
Ezzy, how are we doing? What a reaction!
We're doing all right. I had him striking out because May, to Sarah's point about that first at bat, the strikeout at bat. I mean, May looks like he's actually got some stuff tonight. But also that first pitch to Zunino, where was that ball?
Yeah. My thought too. Yep.
Give me a break.
Great question. That's I don't know what he's launching there. These like submarine missile balls right below the zone that are just moving like crazy. At least that's what I saw in that first pitch to Austin Meadows. The question is, will he get on base with a walk? Sarah, I'm leaning on you heavily here, but I'm loving your analysis tonight.
Thank you. I mean, Meadows actually walked more than I realized in the regular season. He had 11.2% walk rate. That's pretty good. But I don't know. I don't know how you can possibly be disciplined against these kinds of pitches. So I'm not necessarily expecting. And I know he walked 2 straight batters to start Game 7, but I think that was more about May missing his spots than about discipline from the Braves hitters. I don't see this ending up in a walk. I really don't.
And these pitches are absolutely filthy. You know what else is absolutely filthy? Oh, base hit for Austin Meadows.
There we go.
Okay. Meadows singles. That was not a walk. But we want to talk about some insanity. Slam Diego. What just happened with that massive leap in
hit that bonus bar.
625. Leave some for the rest of us.
The bonus bar hit 1750 there. So nice to get a little boost there. But I'm sure Ezzy and whoever else might be jumping up pretty shortly too.
Yeah,
but this is a great lesson to the other contestants. High pick percentage pays off these days.
Yeah, that's actually a great point when it comes to the strategy and the questions that some of the other players are asking as they're joining us here on the stream. Once again, I kind of go back to, as Brandon Lau's at the plate, to some of the people back in, 3rd and 4th. But first, let's get to Noah. I know it might not be as fun, but I like getting a lot of points. Don't we all, Noah? Yes. It really is true. You talk about, like the mathematical percentages and then just selecting the home runs. And Stephanie, it paid off for you in Brandon Lau's first plate appearance. What was your selection in this one? When the question is, what will happen in this at bat?
I put him on base, but it's not looking good for him right now. So we'll see what he ends up doing. But I was hoping that he could pull off another a base on his swing at bat here.
Yeah, and he is behind in the count 0-2 here. Sarah Lang, some of these pitches are absolutely filthy. These breaking balls from Dustin May. Is he in the zone or what?
Yeah, it seems like he is. It's interesting. We saw him throw a bunch of 100-mile-an-hour pitches, which he hits 100 earlier in the postseason, but he hasn't actually hit 100.0 at any point. So I think he's maybe taken just a little bit off. He's throwing 99, but maybe that's helping him get a little bit more location and really place these exactly where he wants. But the last two batted balls, the ground out and then the single, both had 106+ mile-an-hour exit velocities. So I wonder, you know, again, if they're sort of catching up to these.
Interesting.
But we'll see.
And then we see Joe Kelly warming up in the pen. When you guys see various relievers warming up, does that change your picks at all? Slam Diego. Guys, I don't know if I can see the future, Stephanie. I see your reaction.
Wow.
With his second home run of the night.
Did you have it this time again?
Did anyone have it? Anyone?
No.
No.
Wow.
Me neither. Oof. That could have been a
Guys, it hurts so deep. But you know what? At least, wow, he gone.
He gone.
Bob
Yep.
Parker.
Put on board.
Did you see that Dustin May reaction? I think he's done that every time he's given up like a big hit or a home run this postseason.
Oh, yeah,
he
he's
knew
just
immediately. I mean, I don't envy that feeling at all.
The hops.
I mean,
there.
that's your 0-2 offering right there.
Was it off the top wall? Bounced over.
Yeah, it looked like it went off the top of the wall there.
I think it barely just hit above the line. Yeah, it bounced up. Guys.
First home run the Dodgers haven't stolen.
What was that, John?
I think the first home run the Dodgers haven't stolen that was catchable.
I think that's the key. You got to hit it to that side because you hit it to right field. It's a lot easier for Mookie to jump up there. But up there, no way. You can't get there.
That's a great point there. Arozarena grounds out sharply following the Brandon Lau homer. 7th multi-home run game in Rays postseason history.
But the first in the World Series.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Boom. No, that's a great tandem between you and our researcher, Sam Anthony. Like, this is a good team here.
I love the synergy. I love it, Sam.
All the synergy here. We have some wonderful minds here at MLB helping out here. So, guys, here we go into the bottom of the 5th. Who saw that Brandon Lau home run coming? I don't know if I did. As Cody Bellinger is due up at the plate, I'm assuming Blake Snell's not coming back in. But, Sarah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it seems like he wouldn't be, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't see any chatter on Twitter or anything about anybody else coming out, so maybe he's still going to be in there. I mean, he's still okay, pitch count-wise, I think.
Yeah, 63.
Yeah, I would, even under Rays standards and the way that they handle their pitchers, I think he's got another inning in him, you know, and maybe even 2, depending on traffic or depending on where he gets to in the order.
And we'll see later on if Dustin May has anything left in him following Brandon Lau's 2nd home run of the evening.
Bottom of this 5th inning as they're still looking for their first hit. That's pretty well hit into left. Back at the wall. It is gone. 2nd of the night for Brandon Lau. And this is a 5-0 game here in game 2. Brandon Lau busting out of it in a...
Kevin Cash standing by his man, guys. Let's move ahead to Cody Bellinger's at bat here in the bottom of the 5th. We still don't know who will be on the bump, but it looks like, according to our app here will be Dustin May. Sarah, confirming that one. The outcome of this AB, Slam Diego, you are in first and by a very large margin. What did you select?
Since it hasn't locked in, I was still kind of debating back and forth on this one since I'm not exactly sure. Snell's been cruising so far. I mean, not too bad. Obviously, he hasn't given up a hit yet, 8 Ks. But I went with the in play out is what I settled on. Once again, the the happy medium. The when I can't decide, just go with the basics.
Completely fair there. Yeah, correction. I said Dustin May still in, obviously Blake Snell. Getting my guys mixed up here. Sarah, do you think that's a sound decision?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've seen he worked a walk last time up, and he's looked better in the last few postseason games, I would say, and in this postseason than he had. I mean, the big storyline for him entering this World Series was how poorly he played in the 2018 World Series. And obviously we saw him get out in front of that storyline in a big way with a home run yesterday, but I'm not sure with how good Snell has looked that I'm feeling a hit for Cody right here.
Yeah, it looks like Snell is still growing strong here. John, you've been quietly following along, enjoying life, looking to pull ahead, probably build up on your bonus bar. Next time Brandon Lau comes up to bat, how many of you are going to select a home run? John, I'll start with you.
If I didn't think he was going to do it once, I didn't think he was going to do it twice. There's no way I think he's going to do it 3 times. So
that's actually a really good answer. Tenor 703. I mean, that would be a really bold selection. And Sarah, you're in the business.
Home run.
Yeah, we have not had a 4-homer postseason game of any kind. We've had 5 World Series 3-homer games. The last one was Pablo Sandoval back in 2012. The first 2 of those, I think, coming off of Justin Verlander. And Albert Pujols had one the year before in 2011. But then before that, we hadn't seen one since Reggie Jackson in 1977. So I love the idea. I love these notes. I love the history so much. I love the idea of putting Brandon Lau on that list. But we'll see what happens when we get into this Rays bullpen, which I do think his next at bat will definitely be against a reliever at this point.
Peeps, does that change your mind?
No. I don't think it's going to matter who the pitcher is. He's not getting a home run.
Okay, that's fair. By the way, playing a little catch up here, Belly grounded out. Now we have Pollock at the plate. We have what will happen in his at bat. Hickory Smoke. What was your selection?
I got him for a home run this time. I've been low on my home run pace today, but it's going to happen one of these times. And I hope I'm there to pick it.
Yeah, and there for all the points there, 2,360 points. I think that's
if Snell keeps throwing pitches like that, maybe I'll cash in on this one.
Yeah, a risk might be worth taking. Stephanie, you're nodding.
I am agreeing with her. I think there is going to be a home run out of Pollock tonight. It just depends on which bat he's going to do it.
Are you hoping it's this one?
Of course, I got it locked in.
Yes! Oh,
Right.
love to see you
Love
pull
it.
ahead. It's going to take a lot to catch up to Slam Diego. How do you guys go about doing that? Ezzy?
Just try to stay locked in and not pay attention too much to his score. Or I try to bank on you asking him what his pick is before the pitch clock.
We're giving away the state secrets. That's a really good point. I didn't really think about that factoring into the strategy.
Oh, no, you're good.
Plan has been foiled, Slam Diego. I'm in cahoots with the rest of the pack. We want to make this a close race here. We have a baby squirrel Chan. Oh, okay, Brav Fanatic. Guys, we have a lot of people chiming in here. How many games do you guys predict for the series? I like that one. Sarah Langs, let's go to you on this one.
I went with 6 entering the series. I mean, I think that, a lot of people are picking the Dodgers, and I found it kind of funny because people are like, oh, it's definitely going to be the Dodgers, but I think it's going to be 6 or 7 games. And I don't really see how you can be that confident and then also be picking that many games. So I am not professing to have any sort of confidence, but I was expecting a hard-fought series, and I think tonight is a little bit more what I thought maybe yesterday would look like and what I expected with these 2 teams matching up. So this definitely gives me some hope for, 6-7 games somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because after last night, I was like, oh boy, here we
well,
go.
We can't do 3 games.
Yeah, great point. Wonderful point here. Okay, so Pollock struck out swinging. Kike, do you love me? Are you riding? What did we think? Is he gonna hit a single? Stephanie, is he gonna hit a single?
I have it locked in with yes.
I love your optimism, by the way.
Yeah, I like
Sarah's
that.
nodding. Are you on board?
I mean, I was on board with the optimism. That's what I was nodding along with. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's one of these players who, this is part of what makes the Dodgers so great. They just have so much depth. You know, this is a player who on any other team we might not have seen quite as much of, but he's like a Swiss Army knife for them, playing a bunch of different positions. And he's had a lot of clutch hits. He hit a grand slam in an LCS in 2017. He had a home run like a couple days ago. I mean, this is what he does. He had the game-tying home run. That was in Game 7.
Yeah.
So, if there's a player who might be an 8th place hitter who might not be your normal pick for a hit, and you want to go with one, I would pick Enrique Hernandez. Absolutely.
I like that. He's now ahead in the count 3-1. Baby Squirrel Chan. Kike is all or nothing. And by that, he probably means it will not be a single. Do we agree with that, Ezzy?
I've never agreed with a squirrel before.
I mean, squirrels know things too, at least on this rally app.
I do agree with Baby Squirrel Chan. I do have to say I picked the single for Kike because he was 0 for 2 at that point, 3rd time seeing Snell. But, I was wrong.
It just walk.
It happens.
It does.
He didn't walk much in the regular season, so that's pretty interesting. If we're still trying to assess if Snell is tired, despite having still not allowed that hit.
Yeah, do you think he's wearing down as Chris Taylor walks up to the plate and we're predicting, or we just predicted what will happen in his plate appearance?
It seems like it. I know we talked about this last inning, and I wasn't right then. But, he's at, 76 pitches, and we know he hasn't gone deep into games lately. He just walked a guy who had a 4% walk rate in the regular season, which is not very high. And even though the Dodgers all have good plate discipline, that tells me something. He does seem to be laboring a little bit more. But again, I mean, what a performance. I mean, even if this ends up a 5-inning start, I mean, this is not the Blake Snell that we saw in either of his last 2 starts this postseason. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for keeping this offense in check this long. Because the Dodgers, we saw them. They scored 11 runs in the first inning against the Braves in that game. I mean, they can score a lot of runs. And here they are without a hit yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's interesting to see like something special happening here. But he's obviously so high in his pitch count, you can't really hold on to that one. As Chris Taylor's AB continues. And Stephanie, I want to touch on you for a second and your bio. We talked about you being a Kansas resident, your playing strategy. You played softball growing up, so you know the game of baseball for the most part. How has that kind of influenced your entrance into the game that is the Rally app?
So just looking at strategies, understanding the game, knowing what's happening, it really helps. Again, with the game and the bonus points and just kind of the strategy of the questions themselves and how they're put on the app.
Oh, Chris Taylor!
Wow.
Chris Taylor Nord!
Wow.
Who selected a Chris Taylor home run?
Nice.
Stephanie, this is what happens. We start talking about you and your strategy. Good things happen. The universe is conspiring for you, my friend.
Yes, that was amazing.
Wow.
How do you feel?
Really good. It didn't get me up there, but it got me a lot of points back.
Did you get that too, Ezzy? Did you say?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Man, I wanted to.
I was gonna say you got me nervous there for a second. I thought,
Okay, so
No,
Stephanie
sir.
was the only one to select a home run for the outcome of that at bat.
Wow.
Nods across the board. Okay, Stephanie, let's see how that impacts
it's
the
right up
points
there.
total here. I
to
don't
go.
think this is the
Nice.
updated scoreboard quite yet. Or is that fully updated?
It's looking good to me.
Yeah, that looks updated, right? Okay, so
Nice.
San Diego in at first, 8,117
Wow.
points. It is updated, I'm being told. Ezzy in second, 6,161, and Stephanie hot on his heels, 6,015 points. Peeps, I feel like it's going to happen for you, sir. You're only like 3,000 points behind. It's okay. He's crying. He's all right. He's gonna get through
I'm using my binoculars to
binoculars. Not the same thing. I do apologize. Mookie Betts at the plate, facing maybe a worn down Blake Snell here with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Already battling in the box with a 2-2 count. Sarah Lang's following that 2-run shot. Where are we at with Blake Snell at this juncture, giving up his first hit of the game?
I mean, so they haven't shown us the bullpen in a few minutes, so I don't know the status of everybody, but this feels like his last batter. I mean, I think if Mookie reaches here, or maybe second to last, again, pending if anyone is totally ready. But, Mookie Betts is a tough at bat. We're already 3-2. It's not going to be a 3-pitch at bat. So I think that, we're already getting into close to, 85, close to 90 is the pitch count for him here. And I think this is probably it, which is exactly to that 3rd time through the order thing, right? Mookie's going to lead off, and here we are starting the 3rd time through. And
and he walks.
Missing. Yeah.
And what, most of the experts are saying, which is, kind of crazy. I don't think that's what the pitchers come in saying. We just need 5 out of Snell, right? Like we said about Kershaw last night. If we just need 5, I'm sure Kershaw's saying I'm going to go in and, throw a complete game. So he walks Mookie. You're in a 3-run ball game right now. How do we feel about the scenario? We have chatter between Mookie and Ji-Man Choi. Fox broadcast, a little bit of a mound visit. What's happening during this mound visit?
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're just waiting. I think they just showed Nick Anderson, so they're waiting for him to be fully ready. I guess this is a scenario I said where he gets one more batter here, and then we'll see what happens. But he had such a great start. I just want us to say that again. I mean, it was so impressive to keep them in check until there. And I understand 9th place hitter hitting a home run is not what you want in a World Series game. But, hopefully he can get out of this, complete the inning at least, and, feel not leave any runners on base, not be watching for those inherited runners to score, and just, have that peace of mind at the very least. You're still winning at the very least, right?
That sense of closure, and it looks like Ezzy is inching his way to first place. You just hit the bonus bar, my friend. Now just about 200 points behind Slam Diego with 8,214 points. Stephanie in at 3rd with 6,015. And Peebs, you got to be close to the bonus bar, right?
the 0.1, yeah.
You're so close. You're right there. And as you make a prediction as to what will happen in Corey Seager's at bat, how did that impact your pick?
Went home run. I think Snell's laboring here, and we saw like another one. Seager's been hot. Why not? He's like, maybe this is a situation where he should have been pulled right now. It's one batter too late for Snell.
Yeah. And that's, kind of the Monday morning quarterback thing. The hindsight is 2020 always comes into play here after the fact. Habes, I love your cheering section here. They're going to help you. Okay, so we have
for me.
They what?
They should be picking for me. That'd be probably doing better.
Have you guys ever done that? Has that ever factored in where you've been playing with people and you let them do it? Or, I've seen people make, picks for March Madness and they go solely based on uniforms. Tyler shook his head. Absolutely not. As he's smiling and nodding.
I like the uniform thing.
Why not, right? You're like, I don't know. It's just all gut feel. Just close your eyes and pick. 0-1 the count now for Corey Seager facing a relatively tired Blake Snell, who just gave up a 2-run shot, which was the first hit of the game. And then, you had walked Mookie Betts and a base hit to right field. What do we do here, Sarah?
I think
him out, says Jason.
I think they have to be taking him out here, but I'm so surprised. This is 2 nights in a row where it's felt like the Rays starter has been in like 1 or 2 batters too long, which I don't think there was a game during the regular season where it felt like that. I mean, if anything, the Twitter demons are always coming after Kevin Cash for coming too quickly to get a pitcher. We saw that with Charlie Morton in ALCS Game 7. Everyone was bent out of shape about that, and it worked out fine. And this is fascinating. I mean, it's probably the law of averages, and I'm sure if we go back to 162 game season last year, it's a little bit different. It's not that he's never left someone in too long, but it's pretty surprising on the biggest stage like this to see two Rays specifically pitchers facing one too many guys.
Yeah, and we saw one of our fans watching at home playing along here on the Rally app saying you should have taken him out, and Sarah, you just weighed in on the strategy, and Kevin Cash is usually a lot quicker to pull the trigger when it comes to going to his pen, but having faith in Snell and kind of letting him put a bow on the outing where he was tossing a no-no, at least for the majority of that outing. Slam Diego, you are no longer comfortably in the lead here as Hickory Smoke is hot on your heels. How are you feeling at this point?
Yeah, a little bit as the innings go on, you start to get a little bit more nervous as you get towards the crunch time when there's not as much time to make up room on points there. So, any mistake, I make or that you might be able to capitalize, or either of the four of us can capitalize on, can make a huge difference. So all it takes is one swing of the bat, and all of a sudden it's a different ball game in terms of standings. So
yes,
you never know with this game.
And it was one swing of the bat for Chris Taylor to get LA on the board. Let's take a look.
Taylor hits it well into right. Back at the track, at the wall. Goodbye. Dodgers are on the board. Their first hit, their first 2 runs. And it's 5-2 here in the 5th.
So it looks like Nick Anderson is coming in for Blake Snell. Sarah Langs, what do we know about him, and how should that impact our contestant selections while facing Justin Turner?
Yeah, he's had an interesting postseason. He has definitely been, I know you guys just had Mike Petriello on a couple innings ago. He has been talking about how Nick Anderson is like the most underrated reliever for the last 2 years now. And he got traded to the Rays last year at the deadline, and he literally walked 2 batters in the entire 21 innings that he pitched for them. Ton of strikeouts, not a lot of walks. That's what he does. He's really good. And he was really good in the regular season. But we saw him struggle a little bit in the ALCS. And, the fact that he was the guy who came in after Charlie Morton in Game 7, that was the part that made me the most concerned just for the Rays overall, because he had struggled, and he did get out of it. But I think that makes it kind of a tough pick because we don't know which Nick Anderson it is, and that's such a tough thing with a guy who had been so reliable for basically 2 straight years now.
Yeah, we have a righty-righty matchup. Guys, I know your picks are locked in at this point. Did Sarah's analysis change your pick, Stephanie?
It's okay if no.
Sorry.
No, Turner has been a little off, like she said. I mean, this is a hard pickup, and especially with the new pitcher coming in, being an underrated, as the other analysts had said as well. I struggled on this one. I did put him on base though, just because I know that he's a great hitter. So hopefully he'll pull one out and get on base here.
Yeah, and all that postseason experience could be paying off. Tyler, just when I was talking a little bit of trash to you, my friend, saying that Ezzy was hot on your heels, what just happened? Did you hit the bonus bar again? Because you are pulling ahead with over 10,500 points.
Yeah, I hit the bonus bar after the Seager one, got that one right, since I knew Snell was slowing down there. So picked the on base, got the bonus there. So was rolling with the trend.
Okay, Ezzy, you have a little bit of catching up to do. Stephanie, you as well, but again, it only takes one swing of the bat. And Peebs, I still have faith in you, my friend. We're only in the 5th.
2 swings for me.
2 swings away. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, friends, here we are in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs, runners on first and second for Justin Turner with a 2-1 count, facing Nick Anderson here in Game 2 of the World Series. As we continue on here with the 2020 Rally App Championship presented by BetMGM. $10,000 on the line for our 4 contestants. Tyler Slam Diego. Wow. 10,557 points. This is absolutely bananas as this at-bat wears on. And, I mean, Justin Turner just being true to form. He's 0 for 2 at the dish here tonight, but he just works the count, Sarah Langs. Yep. It is a thing of beauty to watch.
Absolutely. And we've talked so much about I feel like already here, the plate discipline of these Dodgers. And he's definitely one of them. You know, he wasn't healthy for the whole year. So his overall stats and even those plate discipline stats might not reflect it, but we know who he is. And he's also the Dodgers all-time postseason hits leader. That happened like early on in this postseason.
Wow.
Part of it is how many games he's played, right? They've played in a ton of postseason games over the last few years. But, you know, even dating back to 2015. But still a pretty cool thing for him to have on his mantle. But
yeah, it definitely is. He strikes out swinging. And you know what? Nick had to earn that strikeout. And it looks like the Rays are out of this one, guys, as we head into the top of the 6th. Once again, Slam Diego leading the way by a fairly large margin here with over 10,500 points. Let's get to know our leader a little bit better here. Tyler West, you're an Indiana resident. We talked about your favorite team being the Padres. I just want to look at your playing card here. Your highest score was 20,217 points. Can you take us back to that evening?
You know, honestly, I don't remember offhand which one that was. It's hard to remember. It kind of blends together after a little while. I always seem to remember the brutal losses more than the wins. The wins, I just remember the excitement and celebrating. But the losses are the ones I always seem to remember more, the situations and how it played out.
Yeah, that makes complete sense here. How did you get to know the game of baseball so well?
You know, I've always liked baseball since when I was younger. And I'm from Fort Wayne, so we have a minor league team in Fort Wayne, the Tin Caps. They're a single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres, so that's why the Padres are my favorite. So I've been able to watch a lot of players start down there and work their way up. For a while there, a lot of the Padres prospects were getting traded and whatnot, so a lot of them have ended up with other teams. But I've seen like Fernando Tatis Jr. play. Trey Turner was fun to watch in Fort Wayne, and then even Max Fried, who was pitching really well this past round. I got to watch him as well, and a bunch of other guys. So it's a lot of fun to watch them start off in the single A and then work their way up.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see that maturation. What will you do with the $10,000 if you walk away with that money?
Yeah, good question. I am a student, so student loans, obviously that would be a big help for that, a great help indeed. So I'd put it a little bit towards that, probably majority, but then also save some for something fun as well. It got to be something fun.
Yeah, you have to treat yourself a little bit, right?
For sure, definitely.
Absolutely, guys. As we move on to our next batter up, Ji-Man Choi, Sarah Lakes, we were talking about his foot speed, running out that single earlier. What will happen in this AB? The question is, will he hit a single?
Oh, I think that's a good pick for him.
And facing Joe Kelly, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, the matchups are always something deep in these, especially as we get deeper in these postseason games. But Ji-Man Choi is a pretty good hitter. He only hit 230 this year, but I don't know. He's just so much fun. I want to see him get on base. I want to see all of that happen. And, my favorite moment with him this year was when he took his at-bat right hand, when he became a switch hitter for one game. And homered. I don't know if any of you remember that. Tyler, looks like you do. Yeah, it looks like
I just watched the highlight actually just the other day. I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's the player he is. So I always want to see someone like that succeeding in whatever the instance may be.
Yes, exactly. Johnny NYC 20. The correct answer, Lauren, I would buy. Oh, he'd buy me a diamond ring. The $10,000. Thank you, man. I mean, that's so kind of you.
You didn't say 1,000, right? You just said 10.
Yeah, $10. So what's he going to use the rest on?
I was rounding up. Maybe it's a ring pop, or one of those things out of the dispensers. Okay, guys. Ji-Man Choi hitting a single. Peebs. You have some ground to make up here, my friend. What was your selection?
Yeah, I took the single. Yeah, I need that 800 points or 775, and it's the only way I'm going to gather up. But I'm guessing though the other players probably half of them probably picked single as well. Tyler's probably went with no. That's kind of
I did. I love watching Kierme and Troy. So much fun. But yeah, kind of pained me to pick no, but too specific. So I thought, well, fine. I'll just go with no.
Anyone else pick no? Show of hands.
I did.
Stephanie, why did you pick no?
Because I didn't think he would get on base. I also love Choi, but I didn't think with his new pitcher up that he would get on base.
Yeah, Joe Kelly. Sarah, give us a little bit of background on Joe Kelly. He's obviously he's been around, but his postseason stuff, and especially here in 2020, how has he looked for those who haven't been following that closely?
Yeah, I think he's looked pretty good so far this postseason. It's kind of, he really turns it on in the postseason. That's what really stood out to me in 2018 when he was on the Red Sox facing these Dodgers. He really wasn't that great in the regular season that year. And then he was like one of the most important parts for them in that postseason. And that kind of seems to be something that he's, making a habit of. He was really, really good for them in that 2018. He hasn't allowed a run here yet in this postseason. He's only allowed 2 hits, in fact. So maybe not the person I should have suggested you guys pick a single against. But luckily, your picks were already locked when I said that.
Yeah, a sub-1 ERA in 2018.
Yeah,
which is a 7.9. So I guess that's good if you're into that kind of thing. Joe Kelly with those signature glasses on the mound, righty on lefty facing Ji-Man Choi, a 2-2 count as Choi takes his time in the box here, guys. A lot on the line here, $10,000, Hickory Smoke. You were catching up to Slam Diego. How's the bonus bar looking at this point in time?
I mean, I'm not that close to it. I know Tyler's crushing. He's living off that bonus bar. So I think the rest of us are in some trouble. Even though we got a single there.
Here we are.
I feel very validated.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah Lang, it's been paid
Poor
off.
Tyler, though.
Picked it because he's a fun guy.
That guy had a strikeout. Joe Kelly had a strikeout on the 4th pitch there, man. It was called a ball. Did you no favors, brother.
Ooh, yeah, rough one.
I love the friendly competition here because Hickory Smoke standing up for the guy who's pulled ahead by a large margin. But yeah, I can appreciate the sportsmanship because I would expect a little bit more trash talk. You guys are all just getting along. This rally community, it's tight-knit. You guys are sticking together. I can definitely appreciate that. As we have Manuel Margot at the plate, our question is, what will happen in this at-bat? Stephanie, what did you go with?
I went for the big points on this guy. I was hoping for 3,700 points on his home run, but he has been hitting a few throughout the series. But I wish I would change it now.
In hindsight, I mean, woo, quick bat there.
Ooh.
Hard hit ball there to the left field on the ground. Choi on his horse.
Look at Choi taking the extra base there.
Right? So now
I
we're running
love it.
first and third. Choi, what do you think the foot speed was on that one? He looks a little winded.
I'm about to tell you. We are checking. 26.5 feet per second. I think the other one was 26.3. So I think even a little bit faster than on that one when he beat out on the fielder's choice. But
Good on you, Choi.
Yeah.
Where do they take where does that get when they do that measure? Is it from second to third? Because he already had a running start, so you get a little faster, or is it from first base?
So it's their speed in the fastest 1 second window. The fastest, so it's sprint speed, it's actually an average. So it's the average of the entire time that he was running there. So it's not like a home to first or first to third, which is sort of what you were alluding to there. That would be 9 seconds or 3 seconds or, whatever would make sense there. This one's an average instead.
That makes
sense. Probably going from first to third instead of from home to first. Just give the running start. Because if you're stopping at first, you don't have a shorter spot to get going. We're only running 90
we see
feet.
a lot of guys get down the line. I mean, Tim Anderson, Luis Robert are two of the fast guys that come to mind for me. Like they get 30 is the elite threshold. So if you're at 30 feet per second or faster, that's elite sprint speed. We see them, scamper down the line like that all the time. Byron Buxton had a walk-off infield single this year, if any of you remember that, where he had 30 plus feet per second sprint speed getting down the line.
Wow. And our guy, G-Man Choi, scores not running as hard as he needed to off of.
Take it easy now.
Yeah, exactly. Off of Wendell's sac fly. Okay, guys, let's go to our next at bat and our next selection here as the Rays pile it on a little bit here in Game 2 of the World Series. What will happen in Willy Adams's at bat? Ezzy, thoughts?
I got this guy to strike out. Righty. He strikes out every now and then. He's having a rough postseason. I do think he's going to wake up at one point, but I got him striking.
Okay, runner on first, 1 out. Sarah Langs, do you agree with that assessment?
I do. He struck out 36% of the time this year. So that seems like a pretty good pick there, and especially given the matchup. There you go. The Yankee fandom coming out. We hear it.
He can't help himself. He's stranded in Austin, just playing the Rally app. What would you have done without the Rally app during this lockdown, guys? This has been a really nice use of time, right, Ezzy?
Yeah, who knows? Who even knows?
Well, you could be $10,000 richer. Okay, so we have
air conditioning. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My air conditioning broke like in the summertime, so I had to buy a new one. So I was able to use the money that I won from because I won 4 times. So yeah, paid for my air conditioning that way. Yeah.
How much did you win in total?
Over 5,000. I won. I took first 4 times, and I took second twice.
Nice.
And I took third a couple times. Yeah.
Wow.
Rock and roll, dude.
Well, congratulations. Pickoff attempt there, overthrown. And now Margot has advanced to second base. We have a runner in scoring position, 1 out here for Adames with a 0-2 count. Sarah, does that change things when you come to selecting an outcome of this at bat? Now that you have a runner in scoring position?
I don't think Adames is necessarily, the kind of hitter who's going to be able to, put something in play just to advance the runner here. So I'm still really feeling the strikeout. Hopefully he can, pick it up a little bit in this postseason, but based on what he's done this year, feels like the strikeout is still coming. And it is.
Johnny on the spot, like
there
clockwork, strikes out swinging. Let's move on to Kevin Kiermaier. Will he hit a single on 2 outs here, guys? Sarah, before I guess the picks are already locked in, but what would you recommend?
I don't think this is the matchup for him, so I would go no. But you're laughing. John, did you pick yes?
Yeah, I should be listening towards you, but it was already locked in.
No, I mean, I could be wrong. We'll see.
I need to gain some points, so 700 points would be a little helpful. So I don't know. I'd rather go no, but yeah, I'm in a tough spot right here. So being down 4,000 points.
Have you ever been down by this many points and mounted a comeback?
I was down like 2,000 points one time, and I came back, but that was during the regular season. This bonus point thing's a little different, so
sure. It's a complete game changer. What is it like adjusting to this bonus addition?
I'm still trying to get a feel of how to. And what's a little tougher is this isn't how the bonus points if this for next season when it happens, but obviously in the playoffs you usually have the better pitching matchups. You have lower scoring games. So during the regular season, you might have the bonus points plus those home runs that are still going on. So it's really hard to tell how this would have played out during the regular season.
Yeah, that's a
'Cause it's
good
just
point. There's so many different variables at play.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1-2 count here on Kierme. That one ball was in the dirt. There was a little bit of chaos. We were scrambling for the ball, and Will Smith was able to retrieve that and make sure the runner held on second. Guys, here we go. Rays now with a 4-run lead here in the top of the 6th. Runner in scoring position. Kevin Kierme just barely taps the ball, which rolls in front of the plate, and he is thrown out to take us into the bottom of the 6th inning. We are rolling on, my friends. Blake Snell, though, we talked about this, a solid start for Tampa. Let's take a look at some of the strikeouts for this evening.
1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. There's strike 3. And takes strike 3. Strikeout ends the inning. Ready to go. Strikes out here. Beauty by Snell. 3-2 delivery is swung on and missed. Completely healthy. Boy, he has been just nasty. 2-2 and another strikeout.
Yeah, Blake Snell, 9 strikeouts through 4 2/3. Nick Anderson came in relief to throw a third of an inning and kind of get out of the jam there. But Snell, Sarah, looked so solid in this outing tonight. And you have to be happy if you're Kevin Cash with his body of work.
Definitely. And, I mean, if this series goes the distance, he's going to get another start here. I guess he's going to get another start here regardless, unless they get swept. And that's what you want to see from him. And he just looks so good. I mean, through the 4 innings, so he had the 8 strikeouts and the no-hit bid through 4 innings. The only other pitcher with 8 or more strikeouts and a no-hit bid through 4 innings in a World Series game was Sandy Koufax in Game 1 of the 1963 World Series. So, I mean, there's a million things, and 8 strikeouts is a little specific, but that's pretty good company. And that tells you how much he was rolling, at least through there. 1 home run ultimately in today's game is not the biggest deal. Your team is still winning. You pitched well,
Yeah, I think that perfectly encompasses what he was able to do there and just kind of sums up his performance. Guys, as we look ahead, are we locking in our selections? Max Muncy due up at the plate. I'm not sure if he'll be facing Nick Anderson or what's going on in the pin there for Tampa, but we have some possibilities for the outcome of this at-bat. Sarah Langs, can we weigh in before we have to lock in our picks?
Yeah, I think I do think it is still Anderson, by the way, if that affects what anyone is thinking. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like Muncy is going to get on base here. I could definitely pick that. I could feel – I don't know if Nick Anderson issues a walk here, but I could see him getting a hit or, something ending up on base. That feels like the likely one to me. But, I'm not as down with all the strategy that you guys know with the points. But it's interesting. I see that on base and in play out are pretty similar. So I'd be curious if any of you were choosing between those two, whether any of that influenced your decision.
Yeah, does it, Tyler?
Yeah, I would say it definitely does, since he rarely, it seems like, at least in the postseason, has been getting in play out. So the point totals being higher, you're always tempted to pick that. But yeah, with being the walk man, he always gets on base with walks. I don't know if he will, like Sarah said, in this situation or not. But yeah, we'll see.
All right, so fans, obviously we have some people following along, playing with us out there as this thing rolls on. You can make at-bat predictions in real time and compete for your own slice of the $8,000 daily cash prize that John was talking about, paid for his new air conditioner, which was clutch this summer with the MLB Rally. All you have to do is download now at MLB.com/rally or by searching MLB Rally in the App Store. And this is a lucrative endeavor or a lucrative hobby, especially if you know what you're doing. So, John, kudos to you as Max Muncy pops out to Joey Wendell in foul territory, which brings up Will Smith. Any suggestions for this pick, which is Willie hit a home run? Stephanie, did you say yeah?
I did on the point factor. I did. I'm not quite sure he's going to do it, but I had to go with the points on this one.
Yeah, that's a lot of points at stake there. Sarah, you see how the strategy is impacted by the points and by your standings within the competition, but just from a analytics standpoint, what would you say?
Yeah, from the, analytics standpoint, I mean, maybe he had that home run off of the other Will Smith, and I'm curious to see if he can do that off someone not named Will Smith. But he's been really clutch for them, and I think he's really underrated. I mean, this is, again, part of what makes the Dodgers so good is that they have a great young catcher who isn't even.
He did the home run.
There we go.
The home run queen, Royal forever.
Wow.
Anybody else say yes?
No.
Once again, yeah. Royal forever with it. Stephanie's got it.
Just pure elation from Stephanie.
There should be an extra bonus for taking that many home runs.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Is that 3 for you tonight, Stephanie?
Yes, and I missed the second. Wow.
Oh, yeah, you did. But right. I mean, you can't win them all.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was huge. Absolutely massive. I cannot wait to see once we have our standings updated. It looks like we have a lead change, and I believe this is the updated standings. Oh, that was nice. As we have some sharing is caring in the stands there. Oh, no, that gentleman is holding on to the ball. Okay. First place, Ezzy, with 12,126 points. Slam Diego in at second with, it looks like, 11,160. Stephanie trailing at third, 8,453. Picking up some momentum here. I am told these are updated points. And then Peeb, 6,875. But the lead change there, Ezzy, was it the bonus bar?
Yeah, it was the bonus bar. It's false confidence, though. I'm pretty sure Tyler is a pick or two away from his next bonus.
Yeah, I'm getting there, but now that the bonus bar is shortened down a bit, all it takes is a few to rally. That's what the G-Man Troy single is where I started going downhill there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then I switched picks on the Margot. Margot one, lost that, and then the Willys at bat that he struck out, I switched on that one too. So I had some bad luck going there.
So you're losing a little bit of momentum, is what you're saying.
Any minute he's going to leapfrog me with a couple of these in play outs, right, Tyler?
Well, we'll see. Just missed getting in that pinch hitter there, though.
Me too. Yeah.
Did you get it, Ezzy?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Nobody did.
I didn't even read the question yet before it went away.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I was
looking
at the past one, so I thought maybe I was the only one that missed that. So that's good to know.
That one.
Yeah.
That is tough, right? When you have to get that, you're referring to Edwin Rios pinch hitting for AJ Pollock. So did everyone miss that pick?
Yeah. Too bad.
Well, at least it's across the board, right?
Yeah.
So it's a level playing field that kind of just cancels itself out. That Will Smith homer, by the way, 414 feet, the fourth longest of his career.
Wow.
Sarah, give us some context here as we watch Edwin Rios at the plate, but none of you guys made a selection, so we'll just chat he's during his at-bat.
Yeah, I mean, this continues to be pretty concerning for Nick Anderson. I mean, that's what I was saying when he came in, was we really didn't know which one was going to show up. He's allowed 3 home runs this postseason. He allowed 1 home run in the regular season, and he allowed 3 home runs in the 22-plus innings that I made mention of last year when he got traded over to the Rays. So this is not what we were used to seeing from him. And he's been in all different kinds of high leverage situations, different points in the game. He's not always a guy who's in the 8th or 9th. But obviously the leverage is so high at any point in a World Series game like this, especially when you're a reliever. So it's interesting. I mean, I wonder if Kevin Catt, he's come back to him. He came back to him in ALCS Game 7, even though he'd given up, at least one of those home runs. And he came back to him here tonight. But I wonder how much more he can play this role if he's, giving up these long balls.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And this rolls on, guys, as there's not really any consequence for the competition at play because it was a pinch hit. How are we feeling right now? Hickory Smoke, there's so much modesty coming from you. And Rios is out, and we're about to head into the top of the second. All the modesty. I appreciate the sportsmanship. You feel it okay, Hickory Smoke?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been here before, and it can change in the drop of a hat. And I know that everyone I'm playing with is no joke, so we'll see, man. We'll see.
That's a healthy respect for the competition and healthy respect there for Will Smith, who went yard for 414 feet. Let's take a look back at that bomb.
It looks like an NBA team walking in. They are huge. Here's one driven in the air to left. This ball is gone. Will Smith, his first hit of the night, and his first World Series home run.
Wow, first World Series home run. It's always fun to see these unsung heroes come in and surprise all of us. Sarah Langs, I believe you're leaving us, but I would love for you to give us some words of wisdom before we part ways.
Yes, well, good luck to you guys the rest of the way. Thank you for letting me. I hope I helped you guys in some way or gave you something to think about. And what you're doing is, I would not have a lot of points right now, as I said. So I think you guys are all doing great. And it's been really cool to see how many times the lead has changed. Like even just in these 3 innings, I was here with you guys. So, keep it up. It feels like anything can happen, right?
Yes, anything can happen. Sarah, thank you so much for all of your help and expertise.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, I love the love in the community here. Let's bring in our next expert for hopefully the final 3 innings. You never know, though, what can happen in postseason baseball. David Adler, you've been following along, I'm assuming, my friend, and obviously watching the game. What are your impressions so far?
I mean, it's been a really good game. I mean, I'd love to see some big home runs get hit. I've been following the stream, and I was thrilled that John asked about sprint speed, one of my favorite StatCast metrics. I'm glad I'm going to get to see the Rays stable in action when they get to bring out their top bullpen arms.
Yeah, I know this is a complete tangent before we get into what will happen in Mike Zunino's at bat taking on Alex Wood. Can we get a close up of your shirt? What's happening here?
Oh, absolutely. It's got red hot chili peppers on it.
Yes.
I really love this shirt. Yeah.
Oh, good. We're getting a single here. Man after my own heart. I love spice.
Yeah, I broke out the chili pepper shirt just for you guys.
Oh, we feel honored. A+ there on the fashion sense. Okay, so let's jump into our next pick here. What's going to happen in Zunino's at bat facing Alex Wood? What are your thoughts, David Adler?
Well, I mean, at least he's got the platoon advantage. I mean, I know Mike at the beginning said a strikeout's always a good bet for a Mike Zunino at bat, but yeah, maybe this is the one where he could get a hold of one, and if he gets a hold of one, that's homer or bust.
Yeah, I like that. We like those 3 true outcomes. That's kind of becoming modern day baseball. Stephanie, what was your pick?
I was hoping that he would do the not bust option. I always want to do strikeout again with Zunino, but I'm hoping that this time he can do that the other option.
Yes, exactly. 0-1 count so far, and it looks like Alex Wood, the lefty, with that interesting follow through there. John, how are we feeling here, Peebs? I know we have some ground to make up. I'm a little nervous for you. I'm starting to rock back and forth.
Coming up, as soon as the 7th inning stretch hits, I'll be ready to go.
I like that. You're just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
You're setting up for the big finish, right?
As long as this game can go extra inning, I got a chance to come back then.
Sure. I said it. Adler, are you sticking with us if this thing goes extras?
I'm here as long as you guys need me. Why not?
Good. I'm glad that's in the contract. We appreciate it. We've got to start knocking on wood. John's banking on it. Tyler, how are we feeling, Slam Diego?
I'm hitting my usual rally game slump about now. So usually happens around inning 5, 6, 7. So hopefully I can get things going a bit. But
did anyone catch the pinch hitter?
Oh no!
It happened right in front of me.
Didn't get it.
Oh man. Okay, so we have Diaz in for Meadows. So did anyone make a pick for that at bat? So once again, it cancels itself out, which is great since this is a championship and there's so much riding on each and every one of these picks. So in a way, I think that kind of works out in everyone's favor. So David Adler.
You see the mixing and matching now.
What?
You see the mixing and matching now. The Rays started Meadows, the lefty, and now they bring in the righty for the lefty-righty matchup. It worked out for them. But you also see how good Mookie Betts is out there in right field, play that off the wall perfectly, and then again, challenging Mookie's arm.
Speaking of challenging people, Mookie Betts, arguably one of the best right fielders in the game at this point, if not the best. Brandon Lau at the plate. We've seen what he's done so far. Has anyone selected a home run? Because why not? A lot of points on the line. David, is that a fool's bet? Say it'll happen 3 times?
I guess if he's already done it twice, it seems unlikely that it'll happen again. He does have some pop against lefties in these lefty-lefty matchups. I think he has 7 home runs off left-handed pitching this season. He's got almost a 600 slugging in those at-bats, so he could do it. It would be cool to see. I would love a nice 3-homer World Series game.
Yeah, why not? A little history in the making. I love it. Jason says homer.
Unfortunately, Jason did not say little dribbler back to the mound because
I don't know if that was an exact selection. I don't know what the point total would be for that. But yes, that's exactly what happened. As we get Randy Arozarena at the plate, will he strike out? How do we feel, David?
I mean, considering how he's hit the ball in the postseason, I wouldn't want to bet on Randy Arozarena to strike out all the home runs he's been hitting. I would rather take a home run and go big here.
Well, I think they're just going to not risk it, and they walked him intentionally, which brings up G-Man Choi. What's the strategy here?
I mean, I think they just want to probably take advantage of that lefty situation. If they're going to let Choi hit, probably give him. I mean, Wood's best pitch is his curveball. Probably give him a bunch of those.
Yeah, we have some chatter here on the mound. 2 outs.
Yep. Then they're not going to let Choi hit, I guess.
Wow. Okay, so now we have a pinch hitter. Were you guys able to make a selection on that as Mike Brosso's coming up to the plate?
Yes.
Everyone nods. Yep. Great. Awesome. Okay, so let's see what will happen here. John, what was your selection? Well, we have a mound visit.
Run. Yeah. When, going home run, I'm going home run. Yeah. Obviously, Wood's not giving up a few base runners here. I'm down some points. I need 2,500 points right here to jump me back in the contention. And we saw him hit a home run in the last series. Mm-hmm. Hit a late one, so why not? Why not do it again?
Hey, this guy's pretty clutch. I see Tyler nodding his head. Did anyone else select a home run?
I did.
Stephanie, I love that you just go for it. Brasso, by the way, a 313 career average versus lefties, as you guys were talking about that. You see the point totals there. That's just over 2,400 points on the line if you selected a home run. Now, David Adler, would you have selected that? I mean, you have to start looking at the strategy here when it comes to, the way you play the Rally app. It's just so interesting the way we approach this.
Right, and I think, even with the Rally strategy, this is like a pretty good time to pick for a big hit for the Rays here. This is how they win. They take advantage of all these little matchups that they can, everything they can take an advantage of, they do. And now that they locked Wood in pitching, they can bring in Brasso, who hits lefties really well. You saw if he can hit a home run off, Aroldis Chapman, he can hit a home run off, junk balling Alex Wood. But we'll see what actually happens.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's it's an interesting chess match that we're seeing here between Dave Roberts and Kevin Cash. And you're right, you have the 3 batter minimum rules. So then you're able to throw in pitch hitters and see what happens here as we have the tie run at the plate. That is Mike Brasso, who is behind in the count 0-2. But anything can happen. Tyler, we haven't heard from you in a minute. How are we doing?
Well, I got the last 2 right. This one so far, 0-2 count. I went with in play out, but my second consideration might have been strikeout. So.
Okay,
Just
Hickory
by
Smoke,
looking
I
at
saw.
his stats, or at least postseason, I think he's had, it looks like 8 strikeouts and 19 at bats. So that would have been my second thing to go with.
We have a viewer weighing in, leaning towards a strikeout at this point, especially down in the count. He's battling in the box, though. You have to give him credit. Ezzy, I saw you nodding when you said that Tyler got the last couple right because you were so humble earlier, saying that you knew that was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. What's your confidence level at this point in the game?
It's hard to say. It's going to be a dogfight, I think, the last pitch of the game for all of us. And this bonus bar makes things super interesting. I know Tyler just nailed that bonus, so
Tyler, you nailed another bonus?
Yeah, I did get a bonus 2 picks ago, but didn't get this last one. So I don't know if Ezzy got it, but might have given him some more catch-ups.
Okay, Roscoe strikes out on a foul tip. Did anyone select a strikeout?
Yeah, I got my man for a strikeout.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm a Yankee fan. How could I not?
That's a big pitch
You
from Alex.
guys are neck and neck. What was that, John?
I dribbled to the pitcher. I selected dribble to the pitcher.
Dribble to the pitcher.
just a little too late.
Adler, I think we need you to start creating some of the outcomes here on the app. So a lead change because as he got that one right, Hickory Smoke takes the lead. Almost 15,000 points. Slam Diego in second, trailing with just over 13,600. Peebs taking in the third place spot there, 9,031, and Stephanie 8,500, just over 8,500 points. Guys, neck and neck here as we go into the bottom of the 7th. Kike Hernandez is due up. Obviously, we have the chess match we were just discussing. Things kind of switching back and forth, though. What are we anticipating on the bump, David?
I think
Anderson's
bringing in a new pitcher. I'm not sure. I think we might have a pitching change.
Fairbanks.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. So this is how you're going to see the stable. You're going to see the Rays bring in all these different guys who come at you from every arm angle. All different types of stuff. And here's a new one.
How do you think that, like if you're Kike and you see his body of work and, these guys are making a selection, what will happen? A home run, just over 2,400 points. Or do we have any words of advice?
I mean, I don't know about a home run. Fairbanks is pretty good, and you can dial it up too, like all these other Rays guys. I mean, it's like
Yeah, 100%. And just a reminder,
Nick Anderson, like totally different type of pitcher. Nick Anderson, he's got the fastball and then the power curveball that he, spikes down low, and then you got Fairbanks coming in with the fastball slider.
Yeah. Stacked is saying, he's saying strikeout, and I'm saying a quick reminder for those of you who are just joining us that you're watching the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM for the best Rally players. We've been hanging out together for the past almost 3 hours, are battling it out during this Game 2 of the World Series on Fox for a grand prize of $10,000 and the title of 2020 MLB Rally Champion. We just had a lead change there. Hickory Smoke sneaking into that first place spot. San Diego in at second, Peeves in at third, I believe, and Stephanie in fourth here. Fairbanks on the bump, facing Kike Hernandez.
Well, now we're getting a pinch hitter. We're getting some Jocktober action.
Oh, Jock Peterson. Was everyone able to lock in their picks?
Yes.
Nods across the board. David, how would that change your pick for the outcome of this at bat?
Well, I guess it's a little more advantage for the hitters just because he's got the lefty righty. But again, Jock is pretty much a big homer strikeout guy. Well, as I speak, he pops one up to center field, so it was neither a home run nor a strikeout.
But you talk about Jock's resume in the postseason is pretty solid. Obviously, he struggled, during the season, but Dave Roberts talked about it going into the playoffs that there were a lot of factors at play and some off the field issues. But he wanted to stick with him and he wanted him to be on that roster for obvious reasons. Guys, Chris Taylor due at the plate. Is he going to get an in play out? John, haven't heard from you in a minute. What's up?
I went with yes. Just again, I don't know, 2-1 odds. He had the home run last time up, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with the more points. No really reason, just gut feeling, just going for the more points.
Hey, gut feel can get the job done more often than not. Facing Pete Fairbanks, and David, you're talking about these various matchups and what's going to happen. What do you like about what Fairbanks has been able to do?
Well, I mean, in the playoffs, he's really just letting it rip. I mean, if he's throwing it basically as fast as he ever has, he's throwing like 100-mile-an-hour fastball in these playoffs. So I love anyone who gets up to 99, 100 on the radar gun. How could you not?
Yeah, absolutely. That first pitch there at 99, the second one that was just out of the zone, 99.1. So yeah, the velo is there. Tyler, what was your selection? Will it get an in play out?
Yeah, I went with the in play out on this one, being worth 331 points. That's a decent amount. Can't give that up too easily. So,
Stephanie?
I went with no.
No. Okay. Let's see what happens. You were so dialed in too, Stephanie. I can tell this is. How are you feeling right now? What's the stress level for you at this point?
I think the live event is actually causing more stress than I normally would be playing at home. So, yeah, putting more on me here.
I'm sorry we're doing that to you. You're going to have to take like a hot bath after this is all over to
Definitely.
Hickory Smoke, so humble. You took the lead. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, I'm a bit of a mess over here, but it's standard with this point of every game. Every time I play, every time I'm done, I tell my wife, "Man, I'm exhausted."
Yeah,
and all I'm doing is sitting here watching baseball.
You're so composed though for being a bit of a mess here, but you have $10,000 is riding on the outcome of the combination of your selections. So I can understand the stress, but it definitely makes watching baseball so much more fun here as we see Mookie Betts at the dish here. David.
I just want to say, after I've been talking up Fairbanks' fastball velocity, that was 100.3 miles per hour to strike out Chris Taylor. So there's a nice true hundo on the radar gun right there. It's pretty good.
Steph, you got that one, right?
Did anyone pick Betts to pop out in the first pitch?
Heck yeah.
Of course you did, and yet you're still a mess. Okay, guys, here we go. We are headed into the 8th inning. I feel like it's starting to get real now. Okay, TD Sports Cards. Steph stressing over picking a guy to ground out. # go Steph.
Nice.
It's stressful. Okay, how are we feeling, guys? How does the strategy change here as you go into these final, what we're looking at 2 innings just based on the score of the game? Stephanie?
I'm getting up on the rally bonus, so I'm kind of excited to hit those points. But
oh, nice.
Yeah, so my next question, I hopefully will get up there as well. And then hoping for a kind of a Dodgers comeback right now. So we'll see what happens.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Slam Diego. You've seen yourself in the lead for the majority of this contest. Now you're, close second. Are you changing your strategy as we go into what is looking like the final 2 innings? Again, anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at that. I'm assuming, I think Ezzy and I are pretty close on or if not the same, on the bonus bar at this point. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna need to change something up here to try to get something going.
And John is probably going to take the bonus bar. John, it's probably going to take a miracle, but anything can happen. And you start with this first AB for Manuel Margot. And it's the question is, will he hit a single? So there's a big point swing here, at least in this pick. Is this going are you just going to start taking all the risks?
I definitely got to take some risks here. I'm going yes. Just hopefully the the others are actually going no, because I need actually to have some different picks.
Separation,
some separation. So, just going yes right now, and it's not bad. I'm getting 7-1 odds on it. We'll see. I don't know if they've switched pitchers. I don't know if.
If Alex Wood is still in. David, do you know anything about that?
I mean, I haven't seen any pitching change pop up on my feed, so I think he may still be in. I'm not sure if that's because Margot has really struggled against lefties this year, which he has, but I don't know if that's why, because I'm hesitant to say anyone's like a true reverse split guy, like a right-handed hitter who can't hit lefties. But Manuel Margot's batting under 200, I think, against left-handed pitchers this season. So maybe they just think Wood can get him out.
Yeah, and it looks like he is still in, according to our producer, Marty. So looks like that will be the matchup as the question remains, will he hit a single? David, what would you pick?
I think Margot is not a great hitter despite having some really big hits in the postseason. So if I were just picking based on what I think will happen, I would say no. But if I needed the bigger points for a single, I might say yes.
That's definitely fair. John's nodding. I'm assuming he went with that.
Yeah.
Tyler, what did you go with?
I went with no on this one. I was tempted to say yes, but haven't quite gotten there yet.
Okay, so we have an 0-2 count. Both pitches almost in the exact same spot from Alex Wood here at 91 and 86 miles an hour, respectively. Ezzy, what'd you go with? He just swung from his heels, struck out, swinging.
Oh, I went with no.
John,
but
sorry about your luck, man, but I think that was kind of what you had to do at this juncture, right?
Yeah, I had to gain somehow. So it's not working out quite yet.
No, it's not. But another chance to create some separation here. Will Joey Wendell hit a single? Can we give some advice, David Adler?
Again, the lefty-lefty matchup, not great. Again, probably a reason why Wood is still in the game. But Wendell, he can make some contact. So he's got a chance for a little base hit. If it was a home run, I would say no way. But maybe sure, why not?
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. We'll see what happens here. This next pitch barely puts the ball on the bat. Justin Turner throws him out at first. So
some very good defensive positioning there. Only fielder on the left side, but that is right where he hit it.
And former utility player, Justin Turner seems to be the guy that knows exactly where to stand. Let's see here. This is coming from, is it Yuli Twitch? As long as the Rays win, I am happy. The Rays with a 3-run lead here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs here. Willy Adams, will he strike out? Guys, what do we think? Tyler?
Usually I'd say yes. I went with no. Might very well regret that, if I could talk. Regret that, but since he strikes out about half the time, but once again, just rolling the dice.
And the Rally app is helping everyone out here because we're getting the more specific, higher leverage questions and picks here as the game wears on. Ezzy, I see you raise your brows and you're in agreement here. Tyler regained the lead here in first place. Slam Diego, 16,130 points. Hickory Smoke, you were just nodding, 15,729 points. You're only one swing of the bat away from retaking that first place position. Stephanie in at third with 10,299 points. And Peebs, 9,031. You're just knocking on the door there at 10,000 points. We have a 1-2 count. Well, I guess Adames does not strike out. Did anyone pick a strikeout?
No.
Okay, that's a no.
He does strike out a lot, so that would have been I would have been my pick, the strikeout. So I'm as surprised as some of you are.
That would have been a good selection. 2 outs, runner in scoring position as the Rays have a chance to continue building on this lead. Kevin Kierme, will he get on base with a walk? Wow, look at the points there for the yes. John, what'd you go with?
I went yes. Yeah, you too many points not to go for it, but I'm assuming most of the players that's a tough one to miss that hit.
Yeah, it definitely is. David, do you agree with that? Obviously, it's a risk you have to be willing to take if you're Peeps in this situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he might have to do it. I mean, I think it's interesting that, Kevin Kiermaier is even, in the game to bat here. Now, like as Mike Petriello said earlier tonight, you might have seen him subbed out for a lefty-righty matchup, but that would have been, if the Rays were in a spot where they needed offense. Now they have a 3-run lead. He's the best defensive center fielder in the game, so you don't want to take him out in the late innings when you might need his defense out there. So it's probably worth the trade-off. He might get out here, but what if he makes a game-saving catch in center?
Yeah, that's definitely a solid strategy. Another lead change, guys. Hickory smoke.
Rock and roll.
Here we go. Rock and roll indeed. How are you feeling?
Kind of just the same since the start, which is, fair to middling, if you will.
Everyone's going to need like a quick heart check here. Kiermaier grounds out to Max Muncy. And here we go into the bottom of the 8th, guys. Things are getting real. Slam Diego. Hickory smoke. He was able to overtake you for first. You think you can battle back?
Potentially. It might come down towards the end to see who's where on the bonus bar. I don't know if we're one off each other right now. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you're one ahead of me for that.
One ahead. Okay, because I know you definitely have the upper hand, but it depends how close the bonus bar. If I can get to the end.
I mean that bonus.
Yeah, if it comes to the end, if I can get my bonus right before you, that's might be what it comes down to, depending on how
right as that door closes.
Inning and a half. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
I love what Hal had to say. Are you going to play drum solo if you win, man?
Probably not. I'm actually still waiting on some hardware for my bass drum pedal anyway. So.
I love this. I mean, you have a full kit in the background. I noticed it, and I didn't get around to mentioning it. So, are you pretty good?
I'm not really. It depends on who you ask. I'm just getting back into it after a long hiatus, transitioning from acoustic to electric. So we'll see. Right now, it's all about fun and not making the neighbors angry. So
transitioning from acoustic back to electric in my book means you're pretty decent, but apparently it's not quite set up, so we won't make you do it. Corey Seager, guys, do up at the plate. I would love to get David Adler. I would love for you to weigh in. It looks like he'll still be facing Fairbanks.
Well, I mean, Corey Seager is really great. a great hitter. So and maybe along with Mookie Betts, just the most complete hitter the Dodgers have. Can hit anything. So he can hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball if that's what he's getting from Fairbanks. I mean, he can slug some breaking balls too if he's going to get the slider from Fairbanks. So. I mean, maybe I'm just a Corey Seager stan because I wrote about him earlier in the year when he was off to his really hot start. But I'm always going to bet on Corey Seager.
Absolutely, and the championship MVP, it looks like series MVP. So riding the hot hand here, 1 for 3 at Dish. Corey Seager is gonna hit a dinger.
Yeah, that must be my burner account.
You're just secretly posting comments here on our feed. Guys, this is so much fun here as we go into the final inning and a half of the Rally Championship here in 2020, presented by BetMGM. $10,000 on the line for Tyler Slam Diego, John Peeb, Stephanie Royal Forever 25, and Ezzy Hickory Smoke. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm just sitting here hosting, just talking, just spewing hot air, guys. I don't know how you're feeling right now. This Corey Seager, AB, obviously a lot of points on the line for a home run. So, of course, since your picks are locked in, I didn't want to spoil anything or have people change based on that type of strategy. Stephanie, what did you select?
I'm hoping for the long ball. I want to hit a home run.
That's my girl. I love it. Let's just make it exciting. John's nodding. Did you go with the same selection?
Oh, yeah, with the same selection, but I haven't got one correct yet today, so – sorry, Stephanie, you're not going to get the home run because I went with it as well.
No, it just means that you're due. That's. I'm going to see the glass half full here. Ezzy, what'd you go with?
I've got him leaving the yard here, which is not a high percentage pick for me here. I could fall another pick behind Tyler toward that bonus bar, but I got a weird feeling about Corey. I do have to say that 1-0 slider was the one. He missed it. So I think we might have missed the boat on the home run. That was the one.
David, do you agree? You think that was the pitch?
I mean, you never want to miss a pitch right in the heart of the strike zone. But like I said, maybe he'll get another one.
Is that the tendency? It's ET again. It would be better if another tier from, is that Elia?
Ayala.
Ayala, thank you. I appreciate that clarification. Well, Corey Seager is swinging like he wants to hit it out of the yard.
Yeah.
The way this AB is trending, a 1-2 count. David, is this changing your impression of the outcome?
I mean, anytime you go down 0-2, 1-2, it's not good for the hitter. But see what happens. Corey Seager's a great hitter, man.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's going to battle in the box. Tyler, what did you go with? I think you're the.
I went with the in play out here, but the home run's making me nervous. And no.
No.
He goes big though. You had the home run, right?
Yeah, that might do it. That might seal
it.
Nice.
Guys,
Stephanie,
we had 3 players select a bomb. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
3 players
Blown one
cashed
out.
in.
Odd one out.
Corey
No one is
Seager.
more excited though than Ezzy, who is pulling ahead in this competition. You are getting that much closer to the $10,000, my friend. Tell me what's going through your head right now.
I don't know. I think I need to call in a favor and get someone to kill all the power in Tyler's building right now.
We did have some storms coming through before, so
No way. No, we don't. We actually don't want that.
No.
I don't.
You're
I
too
don't
good
know.
of a sport. I need some trash talk.
Well, it's not over till it's over, too, right? And it is a 6-4. So
That
this
is
is a
so
heck of a
true.
game. Let's not lose sight of the fact that this is a heck of a game we're seeing.
Yes, it is. In Hickory Smoke, we are just informed that you are on top of the
you're
entire
first overall.
board.
Get out of town.
Nice.
All of it, my friend. All of it is Justin Turner.
Oh.
Wow, we had a near collision there in right field. Justin Turner with a double.
You know, I really needed
See, that
to be
was
fun.
that was not the game-saving catch by Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah. The one time I needed Kiermaier, he was not there for me.
We were leaving him in for his defensive prowess, and
I mean, that's a tough play, especially having to deal with Margot being right there also. But
Yeah.
it looked worse than it was, I'm sure, because he is an amazing defensive center fielder.
yeah, he definitely
Good for
stopped
JP.
short. He probably sensed Margot coming in at 100% as well. Stephanie is the home run whisperer. You really are. What is it, Stephanie? Can you just sense it? Is there something? Does like the air change? You feel it in your bones?
I just get a feeling with the players. I kind of caught on to like how they actually at bat, what they're doing at each plate and what their strategy is. So definitely playing all these games, you definitely learn the players at bats, and you just get that feeling that they're ready, they're due.
I like it. You're going with your gut a lot in that, and you're right. Like there's so much of this game that, as we can all attest, it's all analytics, but some of it is just a feel for it. As we see Max Muncy at the dish here, some action in the Rays bullpen as well. Muncy down 0-1 in the count, a ball inside there from Fairbanks. Guys, this thing is getting real. David Adler, what are your thoughts thus far as we have no outs in the bottom of the 8th, runner in scoring position, and the Rays are just ahead by 2 runs now, so we have the tie run at the plate. How does this change your approach if you're making picks here on the Rally app?
Well, I mean, the Dodgers lineup is relentless, so I would never count them out. I mean, you see them hitting home runs off the Rays' best relievers, who the Rays got all the matchups they wanted in this game. They got Anderson in the big spot. They have Fairbanks throwing 100 miles an hour, in the late innings, and the Dodgers are still hitting them. I don't know if that would change my picks because we already knew the Dodgers were great hitters. But you see how competitive every at bat is. I mean, Seager was down 1-2 in the count, but he got that one more slider over the plate and crushed it out to dead center. So you can see these guys can hit any of these pitchers, even as great as they are.
Yeah, definitely. And they're definitely going to work up the pitch counts. And we have a 2-2 count for Max Muncy, who swung hard at that last pitch. Muncy, though, batting cleanup for this club has walked a lot in the postseason. And not intentionally, David.
Yeah, he's getting close here. I mean, and you heard Sarah talked all about how the all-time great hitters who he's getting up near in the walk leaderboard. So I mean, maybe that's as exciting as a hit for him here, depending on how much you like records and getting out walking Chipper Jones in a postseason.
That is nuts, and he's just been so effective for his club as he's battled to a full count here.
Walks are great; they're not outs.
Exactly. Our contestants are getting quiet, very quiet, because things just got real here in the bottom of the 8th. How are we feeling? Peeps, do you feel like there's still a shot?
If they can tie the game up and get some extra innings, I just need more. I need more outs, more at bats. So that'd give me a chance.
Yeah, you're just fighting for whatever you can get, or maybe creating some separation.
Well, that's
who picked a home run? Would you have lost it? Okay, so Max Muncy flies out. Runner remains on second. That was a pretty long AB, though. He definitely forced Fairbanks to toss a fair amount of pitches here. What will happen to Will Smith's at bat? David, do you want to give any advice before they lock in their picks?
I think that last at bat before I came on, said maybe he'll hit a home run, and then he hit a home run. So maybe he'll hit another home run. See if I can will a home run into existence there.
Will a Will Smith home run into existence?
They're playing a 4 outfield defense on him because he gets the ball in the air so much. Has one of the lowest ground ball rates in the league, and I love a good 4 outfielder defense.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm from Colorado. I know a little something about 4-man outfield there. Okay, here we go. Will Smith, he hit a bomb earlier in this contest. Was anyone willing to gamble on it? The picks are locked in. I want to go to Stephanie when it comes to a question about a home run. Stephanie, did you do it?
I couldn't do it for the second time. Absolutely couldn't.
I can understand that 100%. Understand what you're saying here. A quick update here on a fun stat coming from our researcher, Sam Anthony. Corey Seager now holds the record for most home runs at Globe Life Field with 7. Wow. I mean, I know it's still in its infancy because it's been around for a hot minute, but that's pretty cool. Hopefully,
also he got to play there a lot. Normally he wouldn't get to play there so much being in the National League.
Great point. So what is this? Is this game 14? I think for the Dodgers, the Globe Life.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't been counting, but it sounds great. I'm sure it's right.
If I say it with confidence, it's true. Yeah. So we'll say 14.
Exactly.
We confirm that. We'll get the actual numbers since the show is kind of like predicated on the numbers. But I digress. Sam Diego, what's up? How are we feeling here as we look at a 1-1 count for Will Smith?
I'm kind of in the spot where I gotta, hope for some homers, put some homers to catch up since as he's pulled away here. So with that Seager pick, that kind of did me in right now. So
yeah, it definitely did. We have a mound visit. Ezzy, I know you're in the lead. I see your hand over your chest. Are you that nervous? 15th game for the Dodgers, by the way, at Globe Life Field. Thank you, Sam.
Say again.
Oh, sorry, 15th game for the Dodgers at Globe Life Field, just to clarify that number.
Okay. I'm all right. I don't even know. I don't know.
Do you need some Tums or some Alka-Seltzer or something? Or?
Oh no. That's all good. I got a strong stomach, but we'll see.
Is this the most nervous you've ever been during a rally competition or any competition of this nature?
Probably not. As it gets down to the final outs of the day, I tend to get more nervous. I remember the Stephen Piscotty 2-out 9th inning grand slam did me in one night. So it's like, come on.
That's rough. That is absolutely rough.
Anything can happen. And right now, a 2-run home run is my worst nightmare. So
Yeah, well, it didn't happen because Will Smith just lined out. So
Yeah, they only had 3 infielders, but the Rays, as you've seen throughout the postseason, great defensive positioning, and Will Smith hit it right at Joey Wendell at third.
okay, here we go, guys. What will happen in Belly's at bat? We do have a quick mound visit, but Cody Bellinger, if you had to offer any advice, David Adler, what would it be? It looks like we have a pitching change in Arlington.
Yeah, I assume they're bringing in a lefty to face him because, especially considering how hot Bellinger has been, on him, facing the same pitcher has been, getting his pitch count up for a while now. But I mean, Belly can hit the homer off the lefty too. I've seen it, and I think you saw it in the playoffs. So
yeah,
and he's got the sweetest swing in the game.
He really does. It is an absolute beauty of a swing. It was Corey Seager who hit a solo shot there to center field in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's take a look back at what he was able to do.
1-2. Hit in the air to center. Back at the track. It is gone. Another one for Seager. Absolutely red hot this postseason, and Corey Seager has his 7th. This is a 2-run game here in game 2 in the 8th. I'm telling you.
And just like that, the Dodgers just doing what they do is John stepped aside and no problem, guys, if you need to take a quick break because we've been on for 3 hours and 20 minutes as we can see what's recording there. So David, I think we're just kind of talking about things as they're progressing on with this contest, and it looks like it's going to be Aaron Loop replacing Pete Fairbanks. What do we know about him? And you're talking about these, the chess match and the different matchups.
Well, I don't know if walk is one of the options for this, but he's not going to walk you, so don't pick that one. Guy had like a 4% walk rate this year, extremely good.
Wow.
Probably won't strike you out either. I mean, he's got the lefty, I guess, but yeah, I mean, he's kind of like stuff-wise, I guess, in that he's not overpowering, lower than his fastball, but got a little funky sidearm delivery. So that's obviously why they want him in there against Bellinger.
Yeah, how does Belly fare against guys who have that kind of delivery?
Well, I mean, I think he can get around on it. It's not like, but for any lefty, those extreme sidearm guys can be tough. But it's it's not Chris Sale coming in at 98 from that angle. It's a guy coming in 92 with a sweeping slider cutter thing. Maybe a curveball, things like that.
Well, so far that cutter that you just said, that sweeping kind of cutter thing, whatever that was, it was effective.
that's the official, statistical,
Yeah, I think that's what they score. Some of the stuff moves. It's like that's such crazy movement. It is really hard to define what that is. A ball in the dirt there for the second pitch, and he's definitely mixing up the velocity. He's in the mid 80s and he's down to the high 70s. A lot of movement on this ball. It definitely has to be a challenge for Cody Bellinger to, if he does even make contact, to do anything with it. John, welcome back. How are we feeling? Do you think this pitching change had any impact on your selection here for Cody Bellinger at the dish?
My selection was purely based on kind of how I need the game to go. So I went on base. I don't know if he's going to get a home run, but I kind of need them to get they really need to get this run in from second base, just because going in the 9th inning to say you're going to score 2 runs is going to be tough. So my just purely strategy of this is how I need the game to flow for me to get back into it, and not what I really think.
But you know what? That's the beauty of the Rally app. It definitely changes the way that we consume the game, and this is it, guys. It's for all the marbles. $10,000 on the line here for the Rally Championship. Obviously, not only the 10K as Belly called out on strikes. So Aaron Loop came in, got it done, and they stranded the runner in scoring position. So we were talking about what was on the line here. Dodgers up 1-0 in the series. I love the celebrations coming from the Rays dugout there.
I don't know what Belly was looking for, but it definitely wasn't the fastball right down the middle. Because watch.
Yeah, what do you think? You take that? I mean, it's not at all.
Hitting is hard. Hitting is hard, and these pitchers mix it up so well that you think one thing's coming and it's the complete opposite.
Great point. Toughest thing to do in all of baseball. Obviously, Dodgers home team, so they are definitely poised to mount some sort of a dramatic comeback there in the ninth. It looks like we have a pitching change. Jake McGee will be in for Alex Wood as we get into what's going to happen here in the top of the ninth. Woo, T-Bay Rays for the win. Jason, we appreciate you watching and following along here with us. Ezzy, we keep talking about the nerves at this point. I just want to know where you're at, like at every moment here in the game. When does it get real for you as we go into the top?
Win or lose, it'll probably get real like tomorrow or next week. I mean, who knows? But for right now, it's got to try to zone it all out. Watching baseball, done this plenty of times before, so we'll see. I don't know.
It's when you get that check in the mail. That's when it hits.
Right. 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. 3 to 4 weeks. Yep, 3 to 4 weeks.
That is exactly it. Nathan, I see a Slam Diego comeback. What do you think?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Nathan. It's very kind of you. You're a bit more optimistic than I am at this point. I think I need a tie game, going into extra innings here. So to make get anything to go interesting, and then from there, it needs to go on a little bit longer. So if we're playing on here for another hour and a half, that might give me a shot.
We've seen Nathan up there on that leaderboard before. I recognize that name.
Okay. Community, guys.
Yep.
It is a family. It is a community. I absolutely love it. Let's get into our next pick. Mike Zunino, will he hit a home run? You say yes. You stand to win quite a few points. David, any advice?
Well, I mean, Jake McGee basically throws all fastballs, so he knows he's going to get a fastball. But on the other hand, Mike Zunino has really struggled to hit fastballs both this year and last year and the year before that. So maybe that's why they're bringing Jake McGee in to face him. But, I mean, Jake McGee throws basically 95% fastballs, so you're just going to see a lot of fastballs here.
So that does kind of lend itself to a potential home run outcome.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. You're exactly right, Stephanie.
I'm skeptical.
Stephanie, are you skeptical? Or are you just are you shooting the moon?
I am. I did select yes, but of course I'm skeptical. I don't think he's going to pull it off this at bat. So we'll definitely have to see what he does.
I guess we shall see as Jake McGee enters this game. We have a lefty-righty matchup. Tyler, I know you said you're expecting extras. Hickory
Well, I'm not necessarily expecting, but hoping.
Yeah, hoping for extras.
Yes. Yeah.
As he's hoping for the opposite. Stephanie's
let's get some out, boys.
It did not happen. We have a ground out, so let's get to Yandy Diaz. At the plate, the question is what will happen in his at-bat? Any advice, David Adler?
I mean, he's going to hit it hard, but he's probably going to hit it on the ground. That's the Yandy Diaz playbook. A lot of exit velocity, not a lot of launch angle.
Is fair against Jake McGee, who is the 7th different Dodgers pitcher in this contest. Is this what Dave Roberts was banking on in a bullpen start?
I mean, yeah, I assume that, when he ran out Tony Gonsolin for this game, he knew that he was going to be using a lot of pitchers. It's funny because both the Dodgers and the Rays do this. You're seeing them all.
Similar strategies. We're getting a look at, everything there is Clayton Kershaw sitting back after pretty solid, might be an understatement, start last night. We have an 0-1 count, now a 1-1 count for Diaz here. Guys, I just want to get a gauge. I feel like everyone's so quiet right now. And, it's been a long time here as we're, live streaming and we're watching this game, but there's just so much on the line at this point. John, are we good?
We're good. Yeah. What is last place get?
What do you say?
Is it what?
What does last place get for?
Last place. Yeah, I believe
Your choice of candy bar.
There's a participation trophy, right? Exactly. Chris Bailey, a lot of Rays fans watching here. Rays ain't got to lose this game away Snell's outing yet. I mean, Snell's outing We want to talk about Gonsolin kind of, I guess, underperforming, we'll say, David. Snell, how impressed were you with what he was able to do in that start?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I loved it until he gave up the homer at the very end. But but while he was dealing in the first few innings, it was great, especially because it looked like he adjusted to the Dodgers lineup. Blake Snell, his whole thing is he throws that curveball and slider down below the strike zone and he gets you to chase. But the Dodgers don't chase those breaking balls. So almost all of his strikeouts in this game were breaking balls that were in or right on the edges of the strike zone. So it looked like he made an adjustment specifically for this Dodgers lineup, and his stuff is still so good that he could strike them out anyway.
Yeah, it was an effective adjustment, that's for sure. Diaz walks. Now Brandon Lau, guys. Anyone dare to do it, Stephanie?
No, I was laughing at the comment.
Last place parking validated. Guys, it depends on where you live. That could actually be worth quite a bit of money. If you're in like New York or LA, that could be like $50.
I mean, they could pay for my city bike if I were biking home from the office here.
Yes, his city bikes aren't cheap either. I appreciate what you're doing for the environment. Okay, Brandon Lau. Did anyone select a home run? That's a no. Okay. Anyone select a strikeout? Okay, hickory smoke. So we have some differences in selection, which I definitely can appreciate. Jake McGee versus Brandon Lau, lefty-lefty matchup. David, what do you think as we have a pickoff attempt of kind of lethargic like that?
It's tough to say because of how badly Brandon Lau is struggling versus how great he was looking in this game. I mean, lefty, it's hard to catch up to, mid-90s fastball regardless. But, I mean, I don't know. But both his home runs to the left side of the field, I mean, I know you'll hear a lot of hitters tell you that, like, when they're trying to bust a slump, they'll try to hit the ball the other way. So
sure.
He'll be able to do that against a higher velocity fastball. Whether that's works or not is a whole different thing. But I mean, Brandon Lau's clearly a good hitter, but he's done it all year.
Yeah.
But, Jake McGee's got a good fastball.
Okay, so guys, we're in the top of the ninth, 1 out, runner on first. We have push-ups.
Yeah.
In the Rays dugout.
Let's go, baby.
Is that their first base coach?
Nice.
Yeah, Ozzie Timmons.
Love it. Why not? Alexander saying he predicts a home run, and Lau strikes out swinging, guys. Here we go. 2 outs. Oh, I'm getting nervous. I don't know how you guys are feeling. What will happen in Randy Arozarena's at bat? This kid's so exciting this postseason. David, I'm leaning on you a lot, but we need your expertise.
I think this might be the one to mash the home run button because Randy Arozarena can crush a fastball, and I assume he's going to get fastballs because Jake McGee throws everyone fastballs. Who knows?
Did anyone select a home run?
I did.
Yes!
Nice.
I think you've already gotten it. I don't know why. It just makes me so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good pick here. Home runs are always a low percentage pick, but this is, as David was saying, this is one of the higher percentage moments to pick a home run.
I hope you're right.
What can I say?
I don't want the Rays scoring 2 runs. That's why I didn't select home runs.
Same.
It's really hard.
I feel you.
Yep.
Got to pick what you need.
Yep.
That is very true. Tie run at the plate here with 2 outs. Top of the ninth. What a swing on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I think.
But of course, as I was talking up the fastball, he started him off with 2 sliders, which Jake McGee never throws. So
I'll take one more slider for a strikeout.
That's why we love baseball, baby.
John, how close are we to the bonus bar?
I still need 2 more correct. So
you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
Oh, he beat it out.
Did he?
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Okay. Anyone get that one right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the leader did.
I mean,
Oh.
the
Sure,
baseball
killing it.
gods are smiling on a Rosarena, man. This guy's ridiculous.
Yes, they are. They were also smiling on Mike Brasso when he came in for that pinch hit homer. Wow. Good hustle. Justin Turner doing all he could on that play, but throwing across his body from foul territory. That's just a long throw and a tough play.
And he's
Mike
hitting all these homers, but Rosarena is also really fast. Like that's one of his big strengths. I mean, his average sprint speed this season was 28.8 feet per second. I know I spoke about sprint speed on the broadcast earlier, but MLB average is 27 feet per second. So that's way above average. So he's really fast in addition to setting records.
And what was his sprint speed again? I'm sorry, we lost.
Well, I don't have it for that play right now, but for the season it was 28.8 feet per second compared to 27, which is the league average. So he's
wow.
one of the fastest players on the Rays.
That was just his sprint speed? 31.5 is what our researcher Sam Anthony is telling me. Wow. Okay, guys. Home run for Mike Brasso would give you just over 1,800 points. Did anyone make that selection? As we're getting down to the wire here, friends. I'm nervous. There's nothing at stake for me, and yet I'm so nervous.
I almost picked home run. I changed it at the last minute.
Why did you do that?
Because McGee's looking like the best version of McGee right now, and out is good for me. And I happen to be indemnified against the 1,900 points right now, but I'm not exactly feeling great about that pick, I gotta say.
Wow, I can understand. We had a little bit of a mound visit there with McGee as he's facing Brasso, who's 0 for 1 on the evening. We have 2 outs, runners on first and second here, friends. In the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM, $10,000 on the line. Tyler Slam Diego leading the way, or actually you're in second. Eddie Hickory Smoke leading the way. Slam Diego, I was just so used to saying it for a while there. You helped.
I was like, what did I miss?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to swap points, I suppose, but
guys, Brasso grounds out. Here we go. We are headed into the bottom of the 9th. Let's see who's due up. Edwin Rios, who came in as a pinch hitter earlier in this contest. How is everyone feeling with just what it looks like, unless LA mounts a comeback, which they very well could because they're the LA Dodgers? How is everyone feeling at this point? Hickory Smoke in the lead. Do you think you can hold on for the victory and the $10,000?
Who knows? It's only a 2-run game. I mean, this game may not be over in 3 outs. Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope so.
Yes, Dodgers will win. Coming from Levi. Tyler, how are you feeling in at second?
I'm kind of looking at the from the overall perspective, since I think Ezzy's looking pretty good here within our group before, but I'm hoping maybe I can sneak in for $100 spot on the actual game.
I love that. Okay, guys, we have Stephanie and John in at 3rd and 4th place, respectively. You guys look like you're optimistic. Let's get David Adler to weigh in for our next pick. Will Edwin Rios hit a double? A yes? That's going to give you a lot of points.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a very specific prediction to make. So I would say, probably not. But if you need the points, I guess they're leaving in Luke to face him. So he's going to have the tough lefty. I assume you're going to see Diego Castillo for right-handed hitters in this inning, being that he's the Rays' best reliever left at the back end. So this might be the one chance for Luke to get the out in the lefty matchup.
David, to that point, I was wondering, I haven't been following closely enough. Do the Dodgers have anybody left on the bench to pink hit for Rios?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, and I'm not sure if they have like a good righty left to. Yeah, so that's why I was wondering about Luke staying in the game. I guess Austin Barnes would be the only one. He's not exactly like a home run threat for the righty lefty. So
yeah, I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love the chatter here and obviously the strategy. And you're right. These benches are starting to look somewhat depleted because of the early chess match, and you're trying to get those matchups, but then you run out of guys late in the game.
And with Snell starting, the Dodgers are already stacking the lineup with righties. So, I mean, not like Kike starting the game at second base.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. So will he do it? And will any of you take the chance on a yes? John, did you take the chance?
I think he's going to get it. I'm close to getting the bonus points, so move up a little bit. I wouldn't mind him getting on base, maybe a single. So
that is a fair guess there, as you're rooting for the Dodgers in this one. Okay, a blip and a blast.
Well, I'm rooting for me, so
I can definitely I can stand behind that one. So an 0-2 count to start things off. David, does that affect the probability of this kind of an outcome when you get behind in the count like this?
Well, yeah, I mean, 0-2 is not good for a hitter, especially when you need to pick if he's going to hit a double.
How about a strikeout looking?
Yeah, how about
what does that do?
Yeah. I would say if I get an 0-2 count, that's probably what I might go with. I might have gone strikeout swinging, but strikeout looking counts the same.
Did anyone get out ahead of that pink hitter?
No.
I think it's a delay. We keep missing it. But here's Austin Barnes speaking the devil, which means we'll probably see Diego.
So you guys called that. Yeah, Austin Barnes in for Jock Peterson. Did anyone make that selection?
Missed it.
You did?
I missed it.
Yeah, okay. I got that one in.
So Tyler got it in. Oh, okay, we'll discuss how that all plays out.
I got the pick in.
Diego.
Not necessarily right.
Rock and roll.
Hey, thank you, James.
We'll see how this one plays out. This is obviously a very unique circumstance. And we were talking about, though, like benches kind of being depleted. Austin Barnes in kind of a critical situation, David.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't bring in Castillo here, because they have him. And Barnes, he's a light hitter, but he does hit lefties, better than he hits righties, as most righty hitters do. But hey, we'll see.
Quick update here on the leaderboard as Barnes flies out.
So Luke did his job and then some.
Wow. And here comes Kevin Cash, as predicted, David. And that'll do it for Loop, like you said. Loop de Loop got it done.
Yeah. Wasn't exactly a bold prediction to say that Diego Castillo would be coming in the game, so I don't take too much credit for that.
No, but you sounded so smart, so we're just going to let you stick with that.
I appreciate it. I'll take it.
Chris Taylor, due up here. Let's give everyone an update here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. $10,000 on the line. Here is your look at the updated leaderboard. Ezzy Hickory Smoke in at first with 23,341 points. Tyler Slam Diego in second. It might take a miracle this next AB for you to mount a comeback and steal that $10,000 cash prize, 18,577 points. Stephanie in at third, 13,058. And Peebs, 11,699 points. It is looking like it is all going to come down to this Chris Taylor at bat, a pitching substitution, Diego Castillo at the plate. Here it is. What will happen in this AB? David Adler, can you help our contestants make a decision in what very well could be the final decision of the evening and of this rally championship?
Well, I mean, Diego Castillo is basically as nasty as it gets. I mean, he throws a 98, 99, 100-mile-an-hour two-seamer that breaks like 17 inches, and that's also not even his best pitch. His best pitch is his slider by far. That's the one where he gets like all his swinging strikes, and that's the one he throws more often. I'll tell you, if you're the Rays, this is the out that you want Diego Castillo to get, because you really don't want Mookie Betts coming up as the tying run in this game. Now, that said, Chris Taylor is a tough at-bat. He does battle in all these at-bats, and so, I mean, like, it's not going to be an easy out, but Diego Castillo is, just one of the nastiest relievers in one of the nastiest bullpens in baseball.
Ooh. Guys, I don't really want you to share your selections with us before they're locked in because there's so much at stake here. But I see all of you looking up at the screen. Everyone has kind of poured their hearts and souls into this project over the course of the season. And it's all boiled down to this moment, to the selection, to this evening here in Game 2 of the World Series for the Rally 2020 Championship presented by BetMGM, 10K on the line. And, of course, the title of the 2020 Rally Champion. Guys, I just want to thank all of you for being here and for playing and for sharing your stories. This has been a really fun 3 hours and 45 minutes. And here we go. Chris Taylor steps up to the plate with 2 outs. Diego Castillo doing his thing. And David Adler kind of gave a terrific scouting report on the righty and just how potent he is as he faces the righty Chris Taylor. Picks are locked in. Ezzy in the lead, kind of a comfortable lead at that. How are you feeling? What'd you pick?
Okay. I picked in play out. I'm thinking ground out, pop out here, and let's wrap this puppy up. But again, it's not over till it's over.
You're 700 behind the overall leader.
Yeah,
though. You got to be going.
I know.
Bonus bar, but
I'm one pick from the bonus, so if I get this pick, I think I'm good. But
wow! So you would double down.
Someone just leapfrogged me for the.
How are your pregame picks looking? Because those could be
slightly concerned about those. I think I'm about half and half on those, which means I got about 2.5 right.
Okay.
Guys, this is great. I'm loving the chatter. I'm just loving the rally community that is just growing and the bond that is, the bonds, plural, that are developing over the course of this stream.
Yeah, we have to do a yearly reunion. And
I like that. No one brought snacks. We were talking about snacks in the production meeting. I actually brought snacks. I just didn't have it. What you got?
Zoom.
I'm not sure. I got some goldfish.
Hey.
Goldfish.
Well,
Adler needs some.
Yeah.
Okay.
No in play out, but I'll take it, man.
Okay. Congrats, Ezzy.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Right out swinging.
Wow.
Ezzy, Hickory Smoke, congratulations, my friend. You are the 2020 Rally Champion, and you just won $10,000. I know it got a little nerve-wracking towards the end, even though you didn't show it. You were just showing off your goldfish. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Not so bad. A little bit in disbelief, and pretty upset that I missed the Austin Barnes pick because I would have finished first for the day. But no, shame on me. Shame on me. I do want to say congrats to everyone for just being here. And I missed saying thank you to Sarah for her input. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you, David. But thank you, Lauren. That was fun. That was awesome. I'm definitely going to keep playing Rally.
Heck yeah, man. Guys, I want the rest of you to weigh in because obviously tip of the cap to Ezzy. And I mean, if you want, you need a drum solo.
Oh!
Yeah, man. But all
right.
of you, I mean, Slam Diego, Hunter's weighing in, Stephanie, John, guys, this was so much fun. Any last words? Slam Diego, we'll start with you.
Yeah, just thank you to everyone. This has been a lot of fun. I never would have imagined being part of anything like this. So really appreciate the experience, meeting everybody, you and the producers, everyone behind the scenes, all 4 of us, the contestants, and then the analysts as well. It's been really cool.
Yeah, it definitely takes a
So
village. And yeah, a huge thanks to everyone behind the scenes who, with MLB and MLB Network and obviously who've made this whole thing happen because it's not like we just hop on and do this without any sort of magic from behind the scenes. Stephanie, any parting words before we see you next season?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to study back up and hopefully get back here again. So yeah, congratulations.
Yes, you were due, and you're definitely a fan favorite. And John, I know you got a conditioner or air conditioner out of this, but no washer, dryer, or grill. Sorry.
Who would have thought? When I started this, like at the beginning of the season, the first game I played was like a Saturday with the. I was playing like the Reds game, and like Freddie Galvis hit a home run. I'm like, oh, this is this is interesting. I just got 3,500 points. Woo! And then that would lead me to, playing in the World Series game. So yeah, what a ride.
Yes.
So, yeah, and I got an air conditioner out of it, so pretty good.
I would say that is definitely paid off. And David, again, thanks for all of your help and your expertise. Any final words for all of our contestants and people watching and joining us from home on the stream?
I was just happy to be here and talk about stats and stuff during the game. It's my favorite thing to do, and I'm glad to see you guys, see the people who are playing the game, and doing it way better than I would do it if I was playing. So great job to all you guys. I'm happy to just be part of this whole thing. It was cool.
Yeah, I learned.
No, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Ross, a huge thanks to everyone joining us on the stream and for weighing in with your comments and supporting our players and playing along with us. I, for one, started playing when we started this whole thing, and am just in awe of the way you guys play the game and the strategy you approach this game with. And this has been such a cool experience to get to meet all of you and get to connect and interact, because that's why I love what I do as a broadcaster. So thank you. Congratulations once again as a 10 grand. I'll send you my address if you want to send me a check. That's totally cool. You also won an extra $1,000 for third place overall. So I know you were mad about the Austin Barnes pick, but you're $11,000 richer.
That's true. That's nice. It'll be gone soon, but it helps. It helps. And also congratulations to everyone else today who also played me the check in the mail. And now I don't know who I want to win this World Series.
Yeah, here we are. We're tied at 1 apiece. You know what? There's nothing better than October baseball, my friends. Thank you again, everyone, for participating and watching the Rally 2020 Championship. For everyone here at MLB Network and MLB, I'm LG Red. We'll see you next time. I don't even know how to sign off of this thing, so I'm just going to wave. Maybe just walk away. Bye, guys.